Lovely stuff that you can see. And the winner of our first Not On Your Nelly for Scott Kennedy coming in there. First and 13 races tonight, won by the Orange Jackets at Crayford, 9:53. Rpgtv Scottish Derby final coming up a little bit later on. Now, word from Toaster. A certain Rising Brandy has gone round there, 29.29. I'm here around the track, super from 5, edged in to a middle course, run the bends perfectly. So we'll try and relay some more information there, but Puppy Derby winner from Monmore, Rising Brandy for Matt Dartnell. Strutting his stuff tonight before racing. We'll keep you abreast of what's going on there. Trials and, of course, 1 or 2 trial stakes as well. Good trial stakes as well tonight, Hobbsy.
Fantastic, yeah. I think the clash between Bruiser's Bullet and Droopy's Verve is very good on paper. I mean, it's a tough draw out wide in trap 5 for Angela Harrison's dog, but I thought he was brilliant last week. You know, first time at Toaster, blitzed them, and Frank in the form of the Labrooks Puppy Derby, you know, being beaten by Rising Brandy. So
Railer?
Very good.
Think he's a Railer?
Oh God, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do think he is. I mean, you know, he'll be coming across. I think he's got the pace to overcome that trap 5. He's not as markedly a railer as something like Dorota's Wildcat, but I think he'll handle it.
Okay, right here, one non-runner tonight at Crayford in the 8:34, which is race 5 on the card, and trap 1, Kolsky Zelda, does not go. That trap will be vacant. 8:34, trap 1 will be vacant. Right, let's have a little look at Crayford. The sun was shining at Shawfield, and it's kind of shining a little bit at Crayford as well. They are out on parade, as you can see there, for this A7 grade. And Chromac Terror for our very own Daryl Williams, who is commentating there tonight. I think it's got a massive chance for me, Hobbsy. 2 runners, 2 and 4. I'm just going to side with 2 because I think Gelty Blue might just edge off a little bit at the corner. So to get a run up the inside. What about yourself?
Yeah, I'm with Kelvin Matty as well, but of course our colleague Daryl Williams, who is commentating tonight at Crayford. Yeah, he'll be cheering on trap 4, and I think we will be as well for a mate of mine, Johnny Andrews, and the crew. I think Nick and is it John Bates? Yeah, and a certain Mr. D. Williams. So, yeah, going to go with trap 2, Kelvin Matty. I think it's a consistent and strong running sort who might just, well, things might just open up for the ground in the blue jacket. So it's going to be 2 for me.
Yep, and 2 for me as well. Do think 4 is a runner though. 20 weeks out of season, Chromac Terror. I wonder if Daryl will get a little bit excited, or will he be professional, Hobbsy, if Chromac Terror's clear turning off the last?
Well, I think he's the consummate professional, is Daryl. So but it would be interesting. I mean, look, he kind of preferred not to commentate when Droopy's Acrobat was getting involved in the Derby last year. I don't think he wanted to work, and then he did that wonderfully camp jig on the sidelines as Droopy's Acrobat qualified in the Derby. But no, fantastic, and good luck to you, DW. I know you're listening in Crayford Towers there tonight, so hopefully they're looking after you, Graham and Danny and the crew. Hopefully you're still making the tea up there though.
Surely appreciate your camp jig, but maybe we'll have a little jig up in that comms box if Chromac Terror. Quite strong on Betfair, 4.1, and is contesting favouritism now. Chromac Terror in trap 4, 20 weeks out of season.
And in terms of the Toaster trial times, have you had any?
Only Rising Brandy, 29.29.
Ah, Kevin Boone has just texted to say that Shane Boy Freddie, 29.15 last week. Kevin, you're on the ball. Fantastic work. He's a superstar. That was fantastic to see Shane Boy Freddie blitz them last week, albeit selfishly I was on Droopy's Live, and I do fancy Droopy's Live might get first run on Calico Ranger tonight. But anyway, let's concentrate on the first at Crayford, 7:27. I'm going to go with a 2, but good luck to DW.
Nice to have you with us, Mr. Boo. Do let us know how Murray's act is as well. We, I think, won the 500 last year. This time last year, he was doing his thing at Shawfield. I'm sure he'll have a big say in the Derby as well, finalist last year. Right, 7:27, they are all locked away. A7 is the grade. Kelvin Matty for myself and Hobbsy here in the studio. 3.6 his favourite on Betfair. Joint Fabs last show, Kelvin Matty, Galty Blue. Let's join Daryl.
Harry's sent on its journey. 1 lap of the track here, 380 metres. And they race away, and off they go. 1 and 2 broke best from 6 and 5, who move up 4 at the back of the field to go around the first bend. So Clonamon Lady leads the way down the back track 1 by about a length then from Kelvamati in second place 2. Little gap back then to Chromac Terror, who's moved up into third. Midway down the far side, Clonamon Lady still by about a length to Kelvamati, trying to make a challenge in second. They're well clear of the third. Into the lane they come. Far side, Clonamon Lady's doing enough and goes on to score. 1 wins from 2 Kelvamati, and then 4 got third.
Was the inside boxes that did have it. Gauty Blue did move off at the corner and cleared out 5 and 6, and that did enable 1 and 2 to have the run of the race. Well, we looked towards the inside with 3 moving off, Hobbsy, but 1 got the jump on us.
Yeah, it did. Good effort from Clonmanion Lady for Barry O'Sullivan. Big Barry kicks off with a winner in our first. It was the A7. A little bit of crowding on the outside. Looked like 3, 5 and 6 done absolutely no favours. I don't know if it was a member of the Williams family screaming on down the far side. Chromac Terror possibly when making ground towards bend 3. But hey, good performance off the front from Clonmanion Lady, winning for the 7th time in 46 starts. And off the back of a layoff as well. And good effort considering he's got form over further to lead these. But that's exactly what she's done, and she's held them at bay.
Yep, and the Red Jacket off and running in our Trap Challenge this evening. 5 winning the first, 1 winning the first at Crayford as well there. Right, we've got race 2 coming up at Shawfield, but before we look at that, we're going to join Jason again up at Shawfield.
I'm very pleased to say I'm here with Alex McTaggart, who's a stipendiary steward, and you're going to show us what you do when you check the track. How often would you do this?
Well, basically every time I go racing, I check the track. I go to each track. I cover here, Newcastle and Sunderland, and I attend them twice a month, and I check the track. I have a walk around the track before racing, every meeting I attend. And
of course, this is a track you know very, very well.
I do indeed. I spent my youth here. I started here when I was 17-year-old, and left 3 times and come back 3 times.
So we're walking around the track now. What are you doing whilst you're walking?
Basically, I start off just looking for consistency in the stand, feeling the depth in the stand, how far you can get down. Basically, there's usually no worries until you get the frost periods when you get hard patches in it. Plus the fact that if there are any stones in the track, I'll just throw them to the side as well. I go to each of the starting traps and just check they're all maintained properly. Just make sure the rubber mats inside are okay, and there's nothing lying in the traps or anything like that. And the gates are all working okay.
And is there a certain time scale for you to do this, or when you have to do this?
Basically, yeah, it's part of the job. It's part of the routine, just to walk the track, just to make sure there's nothing on it. Basically, that is the routine of the job. It's part of the job.
Well, thanks very much for that, and it's valuable work you do. I know you absolutely adore here, though I'm afraid you have missed something. There is something on the track that shouldn't be there at the moment.
And what's that?
It's me. I'm off. Thank you, Alex.
Thank you very much. Last time I saw you...
Excellent stuff there. You see what goes into a track inspection before racing there. As you can see, they're on parade. 7:35 up at Shawfield is a handicap. To get us off with our second race here. First race was level start, and as Hobbsy has already mentioned tonight, of course, handicap staggered in a different order.
Yeah, that's right. You see the scratch runners running out of the inside trap. So the red jacket, the blue jacket, etc. And that's the case here. We've got 3 scratch runners out of 1, 2 and 3.
Right, I will just inform you that we are experiencing difficulties getting a track show in. Any prices that we do put up, this for both tracks, Shawfield and Crayford, will be guide prices only, but the Betfair exchange price that ticks over on the right hand side of the screen will in fact be the exchange price, but guide prices only there. As you can see, 2.56 fence side time here, the scratch runner on the inside, or which will be on the outside, Hobbsy, as the stagger unwinds.
No, that's
Would it
right.
be for you?
It will be, yeah. I'm going to go with fence side time, 7-4 chance at the moment. I know we've got a chance to see one of them. In fact, we have the chance to see the market rival, which is Lightfoot Carla, running out of trap 3 tonight, but on this occasion was the scratch runner running out of trap 1. This was last week, so you're looking for the bitch, a daughter of Blonde Snapper, out the back in trap 1, all sorts of problems in front, and took advantage of that, got closest, or was closest at the finish, ultimately beaten by Wolfman Jack. But, you know, consistent sort, generally one who's there or thereabouts. In that respect, you feel that if you're looking for a four-cast or a tri-cast link, perhaps you always throw in trap 3 on this occasion, staying on no chance with the front 2, I feel.
And you're going to be with the top?
I'm going to go with Fentside Timea. He's already won 6 races. Another bitch, very much in form. She's won the last 2 starts in really good style as well. Yes, she's off scratch. She was off 3 metres, so it's a little bit of a tougher ask, but you just feel that she's still coming forward. So with luck off the back, she's got every chance. Right, Kevin Boone, the Boonmeister, has been in touch. Says Murray's Act, very well, out next week at the Trainers' Championship meeting. So I presume there are supporting races around the Trainers' Championship, and that promises to be, I would say, the meeting of the year.
Yep, usually.
So far.
Very, very good, that one. We'll look out for Murray's Act, who certainly, as I mentioned, knows his way around Toast, a Derby finalist. I'm going to be with 5 here. Esker Samuel, 2 wins from 10 starts. I feel can get off the front. There's 5 metres between 5 and 6. They are drawn the wrong way around, but do expect Ginty's mate to edge off a little bit. And Esker Samuel was a very, very tight railer. Bags of early speed. And we saw in our first race, one get off the front and not be reeled in. That was a trap 5, and I'm hoping trap 5 on this occasion as well can do the business. Esker Samuel for me.
Always like to plug the sponsors. Bruce Stevenson Insurance Brokers stakes this race too at Shawfield. Now, Pete McEwen has been in touch. What a lineup, he says. Dave, Jonathan and Jason can't wait for the action. Just had a good bet on Dorota's Vic at 11-4 with Paddy Power, stealing money. I thought he'd be 5-4 chance. Trap 2 for the track challenge at 4-1. And apologies to viewers for tipping up. Uccello Conti fell for the 2nd year in a row with 3 to go. Was guaranteed a place at least. Here we go. Good luck to all viewers. All the best, Pete McEwen in Redditch. And yeah, if you've back Tiger roll today, well done to all concerned, albeit only just in the end.
Another year gone by, Hobbs. In another year I've not bet the winner of the National, never backed the winner of the National.
I backed it last year. I backed Katie Walsh this afternoon. Had a decent enough ride, but yeah, good finish and fantastic interviews with Davey Russell, I thought, on the box on ITV, and then when I was on my way here on the radio as well, fantastic on Radio 5. It was just terrific work from him.
Right, they are all locked away here for this 7:35. Favourite is in the red jacket. Out the back, Hobbsy, a scratch runner.
It is. Good luck with your bets. This is the handicap. Second race on the card at Shawfield. This is Rpgtv Scottish Derby final night. There is on the move. And the traps are open. 4's looking to press pretty quickly on 5, and they're going to come together at the first bend, and 6 is going to try and take advantage of that, and Ginty's mate escapes the pack. It's got to be 7-8 lengths clear down the far side, and looking to go off the front for the all-corn kennel. Moving into second is trap 5, who's looking to come again, and the rest of them really just messing around in behind. They're not going to strike a blow to trap 6, who's off the front of the handicap. Every poster winner. Surely it's Stripes who wins the day. 6 beats 5 in the 7:35.
Yep, Stripes doing the business there off the front. It was all sorts of argy-bargy there, 5 back in second, but Daniel Alcorn's Ginty's mate off the front there. And look, Daniel mentioned could be a quick track tonight, Hobson. We've seen another one get off the front. Off
the front, I mean, it had the advantage of a pretty tidy handicap start, 5 metres from trap 5 at Esker Samuel, and you just felt just going into that bend, the 4 and the 5 came together, and 6 has escaped the pack. Ginty's mate for Daniel Alcorn and Miss J McGee. Well
the red just couldn't quite get a run at the third bend. Might have gone close.
Yeah, possibly so. I mean, just got a little bit tagged back, didn't it, to be fair to it, but I think the 6 was just full of running and, you know, probably improving as well. Daughter of Ballymac Vic only having its 5th race, coming forward again, I think.
Good stuff from the Stripes there. Right, first tweet in from Dave Smith. Good luck to all runners in tonight's Scottish Derby and final, 500 final. The sun's blazing here, Edinburgh, so expecting a big crowd. Plenty of noise from the Smoking Hot Syndicate for Gazilli Shea. One for the locals there in the 500 final. But stay with us, plenty more action to come. Welcome back to Rpgtv on this Saturday evening. Not just any old Saturday. You've got Crayford there. We've also got Shawfield. With, of course, the £20,000 Scottish Derby final. 9:53. Just to give you a heads up, we'll probably be recording the 9:45 from Crayford. We'll show that as live, but we'll be recording that and probably showing it after the final. But we won't be giving the result away beforehand, so you will be able to enjoy it and watch it with us. But that will be a recording, that one. Right, they're over the sticks here, Hobbsy. 7:43. H2 is the grade. What do we fancy?
I'm going to go with trap 5, Bitview Louise, one of the joint favourites. This one's for Gemma Davidson. Thought ran well on its comeback last week behind Avatar. Not a lot between them at the line, just ahead. Showed plenty of dash. It's going to have to trap well with Laker George, who's a consistent sort of Barry O'Sullivan's. Barry's got a couple of runners here, as you would expect, being this is over hurdles, and Barry trained the winner of our first race, so looking for a quick fire double, and his runners always to be respected. But I'm going to go with 5, who nearly made a winning comeback last week for the Flinty and Flack Racing Club. They sound like a fun bunch.
Good stuff there. Orange jacket for Hobbsy, Bitview Louise for Gemma Davidson. There's a ground in it that is a massive price on Betfair, Hero in Gold. Now, jumping is the name of the game, and Hero in Gold is not quite up to scratch, jumping wise with the technique, but bundles and bundles of speed. You can see did line up in the Springbok and wasn't entirely out of place at big prices. Just struggles with the old jumping technique. On the flat is miles quicker than any of these, but a tricky draw as well. Be looking for the inside. I think there could be trouble down the middle here, and I fancy that Go Lane Georgie might just pick up the pieces in a messy race.
Yeah, I think in hurdles racing, look, just have a look at the heats of the Grand National last night. You know, massive odds-on shots getting turned over, and I think as Ricky Holloway said to me a little bit earlier, it was very much for his kennel Friday the 13th. But you know, they've got to be negotiated, these hurdles, and any sort of crowding. I sometimes think if you fancy a dog in over hurdles, don't be put off by the price. Paul Salvage has been in touch and on Twitter. Of course, he's a member of the Brentford supporting team of owners behind Come On You Bees, who bolted home at Toaster last night. He was actually
Potter in the last minute.
Yeah, that's right. That's another one of theirs as well. And I think he said he was interviewed by Darryl Williams on Toaster TV last night as well afterwards, and he said, of course, they had a big game, Brentford and Fulham today, and delighted that Brentford got a last-minute equaliser at Fulham. Now that's very, very good form. Fulham be flying at the moment, so well done all those Bees supporters, and hopefully they were cock-a-hoop after winning with Come On You Bees last night at Toaster.
Good
well
stuff.
done, Paul. Thank you.
Daryl's a machine. He was at Toaster last night, commentating there this morning. Commentating at Crayford tonight.
Fantastic, he is. Superb.
Indeed. Great commentator, though. We'll enjoy his commentaries.
What Darryl does.
Enjoy his commentaries tonight. They are just milling behind the 7:43. A couple of tweets we've got in here. Paul Cooney's been on. He says hours away from the semi-finals of course, the Conan Kirby Memorial coming up as well. We'll try and keep you informed of what goes on there, as well as the Golden Crest semi-finals at Poole and those trial stakes, Derby trial stakes up at Toaster. Jimmy Lolly has been on, one dog for the Lolly faithful tonight. Hopefully you're on massive anti-post, 33-1, but if not, Drop Zone is the nap, 9:53. Hashtag follow the Lolly. Right, last one is locked away here. Scarlett Sanya, 10-1 chance was the last one into the boxes. Stars are going to come round. Sure, they're all facing the right way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here we go, and let's join Darryl for the call.
Flag has been waved by the starter, so the hare is on the move. The hare's running for the second race. And we're racing, and away they go from the boxes. 4 and 5 broke best over the first flight. Bitview Louise leads up them from 4. Just had to check across the Laker George, but in second, and they're clear from Scarlett Sandy's 6. They run down the far side towards the next. Bitview Louise by 3 lengths, got over that one well. Leads by about a length, but 6 Scarlett Sandy is coming hard and fast on the outside. In behind those 4, the Laker George, then Gull Lane Georgie trying to stay on. Into the lane they come. 5 still in front over the last. Bitview Louise being challenged all the way by the 6. 5 and 6, wait for the judge. Close call.
Close call indeed there. Favouring just 5 over 6 there for me. Bitview Louise, possibly 1 for Hobbsy there, but we will leave it to the judge. Right, the action's fast and furious tonight. I think we're going to head back up to Shawfield and join Jason.
Here's a riddle me, Ree. K9ETP. Well, who could that belong to? Well, it belongs to the mother of the man I'm going to talk to now. Sean Parker, assistant trainer to Elaine, of course, and small matter of son. What's your middle name so we can do the initial there?
Ross.
SRP. Well, first of all, congratulations. Tremendous achievement, of course. Rpgtv, Scottish Derby finalists, 2 of them.
Great achievement. I'm over the moon with a pair of them. You know, it's a real effort from the kennels, everyone involved. You know, dream come true, really. We entered 2 and we've got 2 here.
And Lightfoot King is really, was well supported before the offer. I think it was available at 50 top. First, very quick question. Involved with that? 50-1 anti-post at one stage?
No, I'm a bit superstitious. I never ever bet my own dogs. I'd rather bet anything else but my own dogs. But look, good luck to you if you've had a bit of the 50-1.
Well, the heat did look particularly hard. Obviously, Turbo was favourite in that. And at one stage, after finding a bit of trouble, it didn't look as if Lightfoot King would necessarily even qualify, let alone win.
Yeah, no, the Turbo dog didn't run the track, to be fair to it. Our fella, you know, he had the benefit of a trial and he really dug in, showed the will to win. You know, gutsy performance. It's credit to the dog.
Well, and it was wonderful to see you immediately after JK interviewed you, and the words that you came out about, talking about the confidence of Lightfoot King, the will to win as well, and you could tell you were really enthused.
Yeah, he's that type of dog. He's the type of dog, in my opinion, that would run through a brick wall for you, and them types of dogs aren't about anymore. You know, the will to win, as I say, good, strong dog, probably wants a little bit further in time. Maybe the Irish Derby could be on the cards later on in the year, so look forward to something like that.
Obviously, Ramal's pup reaching the final of the ECC Puppy Derby, and Kate warmed up for this competition with startling performances at Doncaster, but the draw tonight basically reversed the draw with Farron from the semis.
Yeah, I mean, look, some people are going to knock the dog and say he's going to move off. Listen, it might do, but we're not going to start seeing that dog middle to get him drawn in, you know, 4-5, because he wants to be 3-1. So look, if a reasonable break should see him thereabouts. It might give himself a little bit of extra racing run, be moving off at some point. But look, that dog is middle to rails. The draw, in my opinion, is okay, but you know, people have their own opinions.
Well, he can certainly backrun pretty much anything from what we've seen. So you've got that in your locker as well. And just very quickly before we move on to drop zone, has he got a better break in him though?
Yeah, he has got a good break in him. He's not the most consistent at breaking, but I know for a fact, you know, he's got it in the locker. Now, whether he brings it tonight or not, that's you know, a different story altogether. But I hope so. And
moving on to drop zone in Trap 5 tonight. Had troubles before coming here, but has just continued to improve.
Yeah, you see, what a lot of people don't probably realise with drop zone, he's not run competitive since November, and that dog has had to run himself into fitness in the Derby against Derby dogs, which to keep qualifying as he has, you know, it takes some doing, does that, running a dog into fitness in with these calibre.
He's got the class Northern Flat champ, went close in the Steel City Cup, so used to competition. Yeah,
he's a great dog. You know, he's a typical front-running type of dog. Preferably, love to see him go around the bend in front. My honest opinion, if he didn't lead, he probably won't win. You know, I don't like to say too much, but I'd like to see him out in front, definitely.
And other Reg on the inside, Vic on the outside, no problems with the draw there, the way that we see him take that first bend?
No, I believe 4, 5 and 6, they'll keep the line to the corner. I don't believe there'll be any trouble on the outside, which is obviously what we're all hoping for, a clean run race.
Sean, thank you very much. It's 3 times defeated. I'm going to ask the horrible question which you knew I'd ask. If I gave you £5, and I'm not, and you could only put it on one of them, which would it be?
I'd give you your £5 back, mate. That's what I'd do.
I like this, man. Best of luck tonight.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Sean Parker, their son and assistant trainer to Elaine. I'm sure he'll be watching at home tonight. I did tweet they were stuck in traffic a little bit earlier on, so thankfully we did make it there plenty of time. And 2 big runners in the final, Lightfoot King and Drop Zone. Of course, good luck to those guys. Right, 7:52, they're on parade. Tradecast Building Services Stakes here, Hobbsy. A4 is the grade, and what do we fancy?
In the 752, I've gone with the 1, which is Ballymaca who I think has been knocking on the door in handicap events. Indeed, did win a handicap back on the 16th of March. I think suffice to say he's running well, and the draw against the fence, on paper at least, Dave, looks pretty good for this one, who's just out of puppy status and the youngest runner in the race.
So trap 1 there, Ballymaca for Hobbsy. Thomas Connor up on the fence there, the red jacket. Good draw on the inside there. Right, 2 runners for me here. Willie Hislop's Toolmaker Sir, and I quite like Joe Kenda out wide as well. A bit of a price. Given the prices, I will side with 6. They are guide prices, though, I will stress. Do jump onto Greyhound Bet, whether that be the app or our website, greyhoundbet.racingpost.com.
I can tell you
results.
On the dogs.co.uk, it's come up as Bitview Louise, 5-2, a co-favourite. 5 has beaten 6 in our previous race at Crayford.
Yeah, we are experiencing problems, not our own fault, unfortunately, but data supply issues with our results and prices. Hopefully will be rectified at some stage, but as I say, do jump onto Ground Bet for the results there. They'll be coming through. We'll relay them to you, of course. Trap 5 is in front in the Trap Challenge, though. I can confirm that with 2 wins, 1 and 6 with a win each as well. I'm going to be with 6 here. Hobbsy's with 1. Any emails?
Paul Saunders says, very best of luck to all connections in tonight's Scottish Derby final. Let's hope for a clean run race and the best dog on the night coming out on top. Congratulations to Rpgtv on sponsorship and keeping this event going. I must say, very best of luck to Scott Kennedy, who has a few graded runners tonight. In fact, he's off with a winner already. Scott, his wife Janice and daughter Rachel worked tirelessly with the dogs, not only the races but also on the rehoming side of things, as they run the fantastic West of Scotland Rehoming Centre. They are a credit to the sport. What a fantastic email. If I had a prize for the best so far, Paul Saunders, you get it.
Great stuff. They're so looking after the dogs during and after their racing there. So top work from the Kennedy guys.
Cracking email as well from Brian Shields, which I'll read out after this third at Shawfield.
Okay, starter is going to check them over. A4 is the grade. Big crowd there. That'll only build as well as we approach our final. 9:53, the Scottish Derby final. This is race 3 on your card. A4, the grade. And they're off from racing, and 3 dive into the fence. They're trap 3, but 1 is going to take them along here up on the inside, along with 6 around the outside. There's bookends, have it between them. 6 just shading it now from 1. Joe Kenda in the stripes, looking to go on now. Length up from 1, Ballymaca, and Red is still up on the fence, on the premises, but 6 looking to go on now. 2 lengths clear, 1 and 5 contesting 2nd and 3rd. The outside boxes may just have this between them. 1 renewing the effort up the inside. 6 and 1 separated on the track. 6 and 1, 1 and 6, very close. And maybe just favour trap 1 there for Hobbsy. Very, very tight.
It's a tight finish for the Trade Cast Building Services Stakes. You can see there the freeze frame looks as if the red jacket has obliged. If you're on the red jacket in a Trap Challenge, well, we'll leave it to Daniel Rankin, the racing manager, and his team there. But selfishly, I'll be hoping that Ballymaca has won for the 2nd time in 13 starts for the Connor Kennel?
Thomas Connor.
Tom Connor. Fantastic. Thomas Connor, great stuff. Ballymaca wins, well, I hope, wins race 3. It's a great battle between him and Jokenda of Daniel Alcorn. They were nip and tuck pretty much all the way. 6 just nosing in front there, but off the home straight, you just felt 1 was renewing its effort and may have got there.
It did look that way as they crossed the line. We'll leave it to the judge. No, separated across the track there, 1 and 6. Bookends had it between them, and as I say, we'll leave it to the judge, but pretty confident that the red jacket struck there. Good stuff. Race number 3. 5 definitely back in 3rd. 1 for me there, but we will leave that to the judge. Another winner for Hobbsy, who's flying, we think. Right, that's race 3. Down with a 2, so that's 5 down so far, but we've got lots and lots of action. Plenty of open racing to come from Shawfield, of course. That big final at 9:53. Do stay with us. Welcome back to Racing Post Greyhound TV on this Scottish Derby final night. We've also got action from Crayford. Joined in the studio, I'm Dave Clark, of course, joined by Jonathan Hobbs, who's in fine form already this evening with a couple of winners. Hobbsy, race 3 coming up at Crayford. Give us another.
We will try Bitview Alana, running out of trap 5 for Gemma Davidson. I think is a ground who catches the eye for me. Gemma had a last winner over the sticks with Bitview Louise, and owned by the same Flinty and Flack Racing Club. And I think with a vacant trap inside, she's got every chance to bowl along in front. She's got some very fast sectionals on the card, and I'm going to go with the youngsters, only September 16, to get first run and hopefully every postal winner thereafter.
Yeah, zipped through the grades very, very quickly, did Bitview Alana. There, I think, winning 3 of her first 4 races, if I remember rightly. Bags of early speed, 9-4 chance on our guide prices. I will stress they are guide prices that we have got strolling across the side of the screen. The Betfair exchange price that you'll see in a second is indeed 100% correct, but that is a guide price there as well. There was money for 6. Mina Mourinho on the earlies, but I think it's going to struggle to clear Bitview Alana, who's got bags and bags of early speed. Good draw for Fulcrum Chaser up on the fence, who does run the track very, very well. I think might just get run of the race on the inside.
Did we give the result at Shawfield?
We did not.
Confirmation that trap 1, Ballymacarae at 3-1 has beaten Jockenda in trap 6 at 4-1. 165 finish there.
Top stuff.
Got
some trial news as well from Toaster. 1 or 2 superstars trialling before racing tonight, and I can tell you that Clombrin Hero beat Shotgun Bullet 2 lengths. Bullet flashed out but was completely outpaced in the run to the corner. 5 tired, which was Clombrin Hero, a little bit coming home, but did hold Shotgun Bullet. 29.65 for Clombrin Hero, 29.79 for Shotgun Bullet. Queen Anna flashed out, beating Queen Whitney in 15.17, and a certain Claire's Rocket went round afterwards, 15.52.
Great effort. Sounds good to me. Would be a huge story at that one. And Brian Shields, I will get your email very soon. It's a cracker. Made me smile anyway.
Here we go then, the 8 o'clock. They are all locked away. Star's going to check them over for this A3. We're going to join Darryl Williams with a call.
Here on the approach then for the 3rd race. And they head away, off they go to the near side 6. Mina Mourinho got away well, it's going to lead up as they go towards the first bend. Through the middle 3s, trying to find a route through. Lemonade Greta now challenged by 1 Fulcrum Chaser on the inside. So midway, 6 leads by a couple of lengths. Mina Mourinho, 1 Fulcrum Chaser trying to get through on the inside. 3 there blocking its path, though still in second. Lemonade Greta into the home straight they come. 6 still leads. 3 trying to get on terms down the straight on the far side. They go towards the line. 3 the far side. Lemonade Greta challenging, probably got to Mina Mourinho, waiting for the judge.
Yes, I fancy as well 3 nabbing 6 there. They'll know Tricast, of course, because only 5 runners, but 5 missed a break, Hobbsy, and the door was wide open for 6.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, 5's missed the break. 6 has taken advantage of that. Mina Mourinho, 3 though on the premises as well. Limino Greta for Belinda Green, but the 6 has gone round. Any kind of thoughts that Stripes would be not so much impeded, but find Bitview Alana in its way. Certainly receded once. The 5 missed a kick, and 6 has gone on in good style down the far side off the back of a layoff for Jim Daly in the MyRacing.com syndicate. They'll be delighted. As 3 though comes with a big, big run. Limino Greta or Greta, pretty close at the wire.
3 for me. 3 beating 6 there. As I mentioned, no Tricast, only 5 runners there. We will confirm that result when we get it, as well as myself and Hobbsy in the studio, but also got a certain Mr. Jason Barrisford up at Shawfield.
Now, I'm very pleased to say, and I am genuinely pleased to say, I'm with one of my favourite people, Julie Bates. And hello, Julie, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
Excellent, thank you.
He's ready with the pipes, isn't he?
I will behave myself. No worries about that. Now, in the sprint, Ballymac, he very smart indeed, ran in the Bresmond, ran to last year's Scurry, got to the final.
That's right, yeah, he's a smart sprinter. He needs to trap tonight. He did a good trial last week, so we came up and gave him a look. because it's the curved front trap, so it might catch the 2 dog out that's never been round, but it's in good heart as well.
Yeah, the only unseeded runner in the race.
Yeah, that's unusual to have one railer and all the rest middle and wides, crikey.
So good chance tonight.
Yeah, good chance. Probably my best chance, really, out of the 3, I think.
Well, I'm shocked at that. Not that Ballymac Healy hasn't got a good chance, but I thought Ashbank Christie in the Racing Post Crown TV standard at 8.59, peach of a draw with 3 moving in.
Yeah, I noticed the 3 last week moved violently to the rails, and my dog ran really well last week. He got bumped twice by the 2 dog, but he was going really well. I think each time he's come up, he's run better. Yes, I agree he's got a good trap draw, but it's all about the first bend here. If he can get round the first bend unscathed, probably a zero genesis, the 3 dog will bleed him, but he picked him up 2 weeks ago, so there's no reason why I couldn't give him a clear run.
Yeah, I mean, that was a tough race last week with the likes of Calico Ranger not even qualifying in behind you.
Yeah, it was. He turned second, but he had a bit of trouble, but there was 2 good dogs behind him that are both really strong dogs, so he ran well.
Moving on to the Rpgtv 500 final, and apple of many people's eyes, I'm sure yours, How Crowbound won it a couple of years ago, 3rd last year.
Yeah, he's a bit of a hero around here. He doesn't win many races. He's a kennel favourite. He's not really an open class dog, but he seems to just come to life here. He loves it. He loves the track. So here for the 3rd year. He's a veteran now. He's an old lad, so he needs his Zimmer frame.
But well, I'm sure he's going to put in a big effort. I mean, it's funny the way it's worked out. There's a bit of early pace in there. There's a couple who'll be coming from behind as well. So things could just map out well.
Yeah, if he just slightly misses it and just gets around the first bend just slightly behind, he'll be all right. He ran a brilliant race. He thinks he won it last week, even though it was a dead heat. I told him he'd won it, so he doesn't realise that it was a dead heat.
Julie, as ever, a real pleasure talking. Can I help you, mate?
He's ready at any moment, that guy with the bagpipes. They're lovely to hear from Julie Bateson, who's got some big chances tonight. Ballymac Healy in the sprint, Ashbank Christie, great draw in the standard, and of course, How Crowbound is a real favourite up at Shawfield. Won that 500 final 2 years ago, and as Jason mentioned, was 3rd last year as well. Right now, then, we've got the sprint coming up, Hobbsy, and we're doing battle in the 809 here. Ballymac Healy for yourself.
It is, yeah. I've got Naptastic on the 1. I think your NB is the 2, Droopy Steel. So you've gone with Pat Buckley's Ground for Austin Wheeler. I'm going to go with Ballymac Healy, who's got, I think, plenty of speed on the inside. And we have got a chance to see Ballymac Healy on the 27th of March. The prices you can see there are just guide prices only. But this was Ballymac Healy on the 27th of March, which was at Sheffield, which I think was a prep race for the Northern Sprint, running out of Trap 5. Wouldn't be a particularly ideal draw for him, but certainly overcame that in good style and kicked on and beat Kulavani Boy, which was pretty good form, 15.98. Had no luck really, I thought, in the heats of the Bresmed behind Lamorna Organic. Finished 3rd, which generally means you're into the next round, but of course the qualification there was just first 2. But I think against the fence in Trap 1, that hopefully will be crucial if you're with Ballymac Healy. But as you say, Droopy still was in. He's got the form from Ireland and ran here last year.
Good stuff, Hobbsy. I'm not sure about the draw on the inside for Ballymac Healy. I think wants to be drawn down the middle, but has the benefit of the trial. And as Julie rightly mentioned, the curved boxes, the sprint at Shawfield could catch out Droopy still. I think it's all on the break. If 2 can out-trap Ballymac Healy, although carrying the middle tag, for me wants the fence, and I think can boss things on the inside. I can confirm that 3 did in fact beat 6 in our last race at Crayford, so the white jacket is off and running. Yeah, I'm going to be with Droopy still, as I mentioned.
Son of Droopy's posh, no less. Look at that.
Yes, Liverpool Blake for Pat Buckley. I looked back last year because Pat obviously had a runner in the Derby final.
Droopy still, was it? Or
he's
something
got
else?
and he's got a runner in the Derby final again, and he's again brought Droopy Steel along, and he doesn't bring him along to make up the numbers. And I've seen Droopy Steel running over 4 bends in Ireland, but ferocious early speed. Doesn't quite get the 4 bends. I'd say 480 would be the absolute maximum, but it's all on the break.
Yeah, absolutely. Down that long run to that first bend. Right, Brian Shields says, evening all, Shawfield is buzzing tonight. He says Dorota's Vic For me, going to be a long hangover day tomorrow at Rangers and Celtic in the semi-finals of the Scottish Cup. Painkillers required, from Brian, Darren and Crazy Labrador Tara. There you go.
Great stuff.
Crazy Labrador Tara.
Michael Gallagher has tweeted, he says, Beresford loose in Glasgow, what could possibly go wrong? Well, Michael, the night is still young. The night is still young. But good stuff from Jason so far.
Yeah, Pete McEwen says, hi, Clarkey and Hobbsy. Missed the start of the show. What were your selections for the Scottish Derby, please? Do you think DeRotas is overpriced now at 11-4, or is he just unfancied over the other Reg? Thanks, Pete McEwen, Redditch. Well, I've gone with, I thought that personally Black Farron was overpriced, so I've gone with that one. Who's your fancy? You're with the one.
Lightfoot King, yeah, good draw. Bit of an eye catcher in the semi-final. Of course, won't be able to line up in the English Derby, obviously, because he was disqualified, but did make the final of the Puppy Derby at Toaster.
It's unfortunate, but I think Toaster probably found themselves in I think a tricky situation. It seemed very much a 50-50 call, didn't it? You know, there's plenty of people out there who feel like myself that they should be allowed to run, the likes of him and King Turbo. There are others who want to uphold the sports tradition. I think it was always there to be debated. It seems that on this occasion at least they'll be denied the chance to run.
Yeah, that one will rumble on, no doubt. Incidentally, Mick Livesey, the head of operations on racing at Toaster, is on the show tomorrow night, so I'm sure that topic will come up indeed. Similar to yourself, obviously, especially when dogs go sort of a long stretch without any misbehaviours. You know, Lightfoot King and King Turbo have both had plenty of races since their clearing trials and showed nothing of the sort again.
You never say never, and I don't, it's not a case of, well, if there was a misdemeanour during the derby, it was a told you, so it's not that. I think what's happened is these are two really good dogs, and it's brought this subject to the fore. My argument is that, there's one or two, I don't call them particularly ungenuine, those two, but there are one or two ungenuine characters in every single derby entry, and where do you stop? If they can run in the Gold Cup and they can run in the Scottish Derby and the Irish Derby, why not a Toaster?
Agree. Right, Hobbsy, your call.
Well, this is the Racing Post Greyhound TV Sprint, the favourite in the blue jacket from Ireland. Pat Buckley, of course, from Border Account in the big final, and they're away. Two doesn't get away that well, neither does one, but one is pacing up now, but so too is two, and there's not going to be a lot of room at the first bend. It's Ballymac Healy, two, the favourite's been checked up, and the red and the 3 and the 5 are battling for the lead, straightening up for home. It's the 1 being pressed by 6 on the inside. It's just, perhaps, maybe Ballymac Healy has held on from the finish of Penny's Tarzan, who's run a good race. It was an eventful sprint. It looks as if Hobbs's nap has been landed with Julie Bateson's Ballymac Healy, who's done the business just and trapped 6 Penny's Tarzan. It was unnatural pace shown by Droopy Still. You'd have to count yourself unlucky, Clarkey, but there was no room at the Infia. Sorry, bud.
Yeah, very messy. Droopy's Still trapping last. Ballymac Healy not great away either, but both showing great speed up into the bend there. No room at the inn for 2. Did come without a trial, and across the back of 1. And then 3 showing terrific pace to get up the inside of 1. And 1 shutting the door again, Ballymac Healy. And
I think he's been really game, because I think a lesser greyhound could easily have jacked it in there, being so put under pressure. But he rallied well, not just once, but twice. And the red has been confirmed the winner, 165.
Another one for the red jacket, who's going great guns in our trap challenge this evening. But of course, we've got plenty of action to come. That 9:53 Scottish Derby final, £20,000 up for grabs. Join us after the break. Welcome back to Racing Post Greyhound TV. Joining Dave Clark and Jonathan Hobbs in the studio here. I can see that Banning-Clare Solo has won the first of the Golden Crest semi-finals. Paul, we'll try and keep you informed of the ongoings there, because of course the final will be on the channel on Tuesday night, so do tune in for that. 2 big finals on Tuesday night, the Brisbane Northern Sprint final and the Golden Crest final. Right now then, 8:17 Hobbsy, S4 is the grade, race 4 on the card here at Crayford, and who do you like?
Gone with 6, Cushy Karina, a 2-to-1 chance. These are guide prices, I understand. Barry O'Sullivan trains this one already. The kennel, a winner tonight. Went close in this grade last time. Plenty of early dash. And I think the draw makeup is very good, isn't it? Rahi Vera, Pearl in trap 5. Is not the sharpest away. It's got form over 8.74 no less, so will be running on. 6 has got every chance to get first run. So it's got to be 6 for me.
6 for Hobbsy. I'm going to be with Deanridge Gizmo in trap 4 myself. 7-2 on our guide price. We'll have a little look at the Betfair prices. We'll give you a little bit of an indication of those prices. Yeah, I think can turn sort of mid-division and one of the strongest in this lineup, in this S5 with the 6 bends. 540, a little bit of a class dropper, as well as Deanridge Gizmo. Chased home Monaghy champ last week, having found all sorts of trouble. May not be the case tonight. I think it's got a fair draw to turn handy enough. Right, some tweets. Big fella 42's been on. Great to see Jason in his 1970s Harrington jacket. Terry Martin's been on. He says strong picks tonight. Farlow Falcon, Black Farron, Ballymac Healy and Westway O'Neill. So already one in there with Ballymac Healy. Good stuff there. And the BBOTA have been on, British Breeding Crew. Scottish Derby final evening tonight. Not on your Nelly. Gets the British Breds off to a winning start for Mr. S. Kennedy, your trainer there. Obviously, this one comes up every time we show Shawfield. Ross Duffy's been on. Any reason why the Shawfield handicap setup is the other way round?
I really haven't got a clue.
Do we do it wrong? Do they do it wrong?
Look, it's pretty unique, isn't it? I think it's a unique venue anyway. So they do things their way, and who are us to suggest that they are doing it wrongly? Keeps us on our toes.
So the answer is we don't know.
We have absolutely no idea. But maybe that's one for the lads to ask around, if we can get that question to them. In
Indeed,
Glasgow
yeah.
tonight. Where's JK? Not been sighted yet.
He is there. I think he's
He is
just
there?
Jason's minder tonight so far.
Is he lurking or is he being entertained?
Here we go then. Going behind the boxes then. Reminder of your selection, please, Hobbsy. Make a case for it.
Yeah, I think leadability claims very, very strong for Cushy Karina out wide. We're looking for the 6 to bang out the boxes, put pressure on them all, and hopefully kick on thereafter. So it's got to be 6 for me. If you're looking for a forecast, then possibly the Rahi Vera Pearl bitch in trap 5, who we know has got form over further, does come through very, very strongly late. If it becomes a messy, crowded affair, then you can see the 5 sort of picking up late and perhaps taking advantage of any crowding. But it's got to be 6 for me all the way.
Outside boxes for Hobbsy. They're looking for a fast start of Cushy Karina for that man Barry O'Sullivan. Tremendous strike rate. A couple of weeks ago, I think, was operating at 33% strike rate. 100 winners from 300 runners in the first 3 months of the year, which is absolutely phenomenal for Barry. He's got a big chance here with Cushy Karina as the starter is going to come around and check them over this 8.17 lap and a half of the track, 540 metres. Darryl Williams with a call.
It's running. And we race away, and 6 bends ahead of them. 6 nips out well. Cushy Karina. 3's trying to move up through the middle of Greyhounds. Just has to check off nowhere to go at the first bend. Rathdown Ruby. In behind those 5 Alley Flair 1, and then we've got 4 Deanridge Gizmo as they go past us. So 6 and about to be challenged again by 3 up on the inside as they make their way down the far side. Cushy Karina, who's made all so far, but now Rathdown Ruby gets the gap it wanted, a lap back, and she goes on by about a length. Deanridge Gizmo 4 in second, then 5 Alley Flair 1. They race down towards the final bend. 3 Rathdown Ruby for Belinda Green by a couple of lengths from Deanridge Gizmo. 4 is the only danger, but won't get on terms. 3 will win well, beat 4. 5 came home well on the near side, should get third.
Rathdown Ruby in the white jacket doing the job there for Belinda Green. We've been running well without winning of late, but doing the business there. Your Stripes did get off to a fast start, Hobbsy, but kind of at the 4th bend, the writing was on the wall.
Yeah, it was. Didn't really get far enough clear of the rest of them. Did trap 6, Cushy Karina, and the eventual winner, sitting pretty in behind, which was Rathdown Ruby. Dean Reed's Gizmo stayed on very well, but 3 looking to put pressure on the 6 there, and writing on the wall for backers of the 6 like myself. We wanted to be further clear than that. Wasn't to be. 4's looming on the outside, but success for trap 3, Rathdown Ruby. 9 wins now from 51 starts for trainer Belinda Green, and hadn't won. I'm not too sure it had won this year, so great effort.
Yeah, a few weeks back in March, was contested in A3 company, so was sliding down the grades. No doubt be back up into S3, having won that S4 in fine style. 3, 4 and 5 there. Right, Mr. Barrisford is up at Shawfield. Let's join him again.
Very pleased to say that joining me is Jack Buckley, who's got a Borner account, of course, in the Rpgtv Scottish Derby final. Before I ask you about Borner account, though, how's Cool of Annie Mason?
Oh, he's absolutely fine. He's already up in the house, and you'd swear he was there all his life. You know, he kind of looks up as if to say, we should have retired him years ago. He loves it, you know. So he's got his own big bed up there, and he's happy out. You know.
That's fantastic, and a lot of people were very concerned. So it's lovely to know be having such a lovely time of it. Now, Borner account, you had 3 in the first heat, which wasn't the best of fortune in the world. Borner account was the biggest price of those. Had won an unraced stakes over at Shelbourne Park, but has really taken on.
Yeah, look at it. He was probably lacking a lot of work coming into the competition, and it was really just to bring him on, and I think he really surprised us all by how well he's taken to the track, and you know, he's definitely going to come on every week from the run because, like I said, he was off through injury, and look, he's got big clocks on his card in Ireland, and look, I think he's definitely not a no-hoper, you know. He's an outsider, but he's an outsider with a chance.
And with an awful lot of pace. And we saw that from Trap 1 last week. From what we saw, moved obviously middle then. Would 3 suit better tonight?
Oh, I think so. I think it's very important for him to repeat that split and to give himself a chance. Look, we're just hoping he gets a clean run of the race and shows him what he can do.
Okay, thanks, Jack. Now I'm going to talk to the owner in just a second. Just very quickly want to ask you, you've got a runner in the sprint, Droopy Still. Just had 1 sprint, 1 from 1 in sprints when you're running over 4 turns though.
Yeah, look, he's never been around the track, but he's a very quick dog to the third bend. He's probably just not getting the 480 very strong, so we said we'd switch him up to sprints and see how he goes there for a while. But look, obviously it's his first time travelling, and he's never been around the track, so that'll come again. But if he gets clear, you know, he'd have a reasonable chance.
Don't worry, I'm not a nasty person. I'm not going to remind you that you had Factotum Boy beaten at 5-2 on in this race last year.
Actually, look, you don't worry about them ones. They're only small in comparison to the big ones.
Best of luck tonight, and it's great to hear about Mason as well. That's Jack. Now we're going to move on to Peter Sutcliffe, who's the owner of Borner account. And, well, what an owner, all the way over from Australia. And this is, well, everything's a bonus.
Oh, it's been brilliant. You know, Pat told me he was one of the best trainers, and he's got our dog going super. I've got to pay out on Pat. I'm sorry, but you know, he's put the dog in a real good position. As I said to you, we've got other dogs. We were hoping to come with one, got injured, so Borner County put him here for us, and we couldn't be happier. I mean, I'm rapt to come from Australia and come over here, and if we can take the Scottish Derby, I'll be rapt to bring the trophy home.
And you've got lofty ambitions, haven't you? Not just with Borner account, but with what will be a flourishing partnership.
Oh, well, Pat and I have got into a good deal, and he's got some great dogs for me. We've got a few good ones coming through in Ireland, and hopefully, you know, if we win tonight, then the English Derby's next, tick, then the Irish Derby, and that'll be really nice on the mantelpiece.
And, well, I asked Jack, but you're happy with the draw, are you? Obviously, got Farron on your inside and the other edge. Does he need to lead to win?
It's always nice to jump, but as you get up more into the better races, all the dogs have the ability to jump. As my dad used to say, you know, a good dog will win from any box.
Peter, it's wonderful that you've come over, and I've got to do this, forgive me, but being an Australian, don't worry, we've frisked him for sandpaper.
And piglets.
Best of luck to you both.
Great stuff there. Great stuff from Jason. The connections, of course, of Borner account, young Jack there. His dad knows a thing or two about training dogs, obviously.
He does, yeah. He's won a Scottish Derby and an Irish Derby, and you know, he's gone close to doing English Derby as well, hasn't he, Pat Buckley? And Good to see Jack as well, because I know he's been working out in Australia, isn't he? So he's back. He looked very, very well, and good luck to Peter, who's made that journey over as well. So clearly that's a contact, I presume, that Jack has has made down under. I'm guessing that's the case. So well done to all, and always to be respected is greyhound.
Right then, Hobbsy, first of our opens over the 4 bends this evening. Racing Post Ground TV, £500 up for grabs. 500 metres as well, which is a stiff 4 bends.
It is, yes. £500 the winner, and Heliska Rubra might just be overpriced there at 4-1. Again, remember, just to recall, these are guide prices only. We've got 1 or 2 technical issues tonight, but for Graham Rankin, I think Heliska Rubra might just do the business. Finished behind Gazilli Shea last time, but I think can go better, and I think conditions tonight might suit it better in terms of quicker going.
Heliska Rubra then for Hobbsy in the black jacket. I'm going to be with Hatmore Black in stripes. I think he's got a little bit of early speed, and 2-1 favourite. Caught the iron behind Forest West when running on the channel a month or 2 ago at Nottingham, and has got plenty of speed. Good trial, 29.70 over the 480. Beating Greenwald Gina, we'll see a little bit later on over the 3, beating that one 3/4 of a length, 3.5 lengths behind Westway O'Neill a couple of weeks back. I think that form stacks up pretty well in this company, and 5 will be cutting in at the corner, so I'll be with 6.
Yeah, good luck. Keep your emails coming in if you've got any thoughts on the Scottish Derby or any other information or subject matter you want us to chat about, then feel free to lob a grenade in. Hatmore Black, so to speak. Trap 6 is going to go off. We believe favourite for this 8.25. This is yours.
Here we go then. Racing Post Greyhound TV, £500 up for grabs here, and a lovely trophy, no doubt. Bunny on the spin. Good luck with whatever you're backed here. Off and racing, and a good start from 3. Joyford Castle down the centre. The white jacket going on 4, pacing up well, along with 6 on the outside. 1, 4 and 6 in a line for places. The white jacket's gone on now, a couple of lengths clear from Sureview Hunter in the red jacket on the inside. 4 back in third, 2 and 6 and 5 got it all to do out the back, but the white jacket of Joyford Castle going on now, and if anything pulling further and further clear. 1 and 4 coming together out the back, turning for home. The white jacket has escaped here, got away, and bounding clear is Joyford Castle. 4 back in second, and a photo for third, but certainly a 3 beating 4 there, and another one off the front tonight, Hobbsy.
Yeah, doing the business, isn't it? Trap 3, Joyford Castle. Terrific burst of early pace, set things up for the John McLachlan kennel. Joyford Castle. Joy for backers of the 3 here, pacing up very well, and I think, you know, with that decent break, could just afford drifting out in the dash to the first bend, and they swap positions effectively, the 3 and the 4. I thought Heliska Rubra ran well in defeat, just a little bit held up around the first and second turn, but I thought ran well thereafter, but no chance with the winner who wins for Mr. S. Collins, and 16 times now a winner, a bitch who's been off the card for a while, blew the cobwebs away behind Gazilli Shea last week and has won tonight. Good.
The name escapes me, Hobbsby, but you'll know John, the trainer, as he trained the graded Greyhound of the Year a couple of years back. Nadura Alvaro?
That's the one.
Was it? I think it was. Spoke to John many a time, caught up with him at Laurel's final night at Newcastle, and this time last year up at Shawfield. So it does have some nice types in the kennel, and a nice one there. Joyford Castle, 1 for the white jacket, and 3 has hit the front now in the trap challenge. But of course, we've got plenty more action to come after the break. Welcome back to Rpgtv on this Saturday evening. Right, they are on parade. You can count 5 on parade there. Cosgirl Zelda is a non-runner, as you can see by the graphic there. NR, non-runner. So only 5 go here. Full cast only, and now a vac. We've gone from a Nur to a vac. Vacant trap. No Kolska Zelda here. I like 3, Hobbsy. I think we'll take a chance with a debutant here with a fast start. I think can make all. What about yourself?
Yeah, and certainly respect Beechwood Jones. I think decent trials. Seems to have got lots of early speed. Springwood Dawn in trap 2. You know, generally not as well away as you'd imagine trap 3. Look, I'll be honest, I was originally with Kolski Zelda. little bit disappointing for backers of the red jacket that that one is out in terms of the trap challenge. But Quivers Lady would be my second in anyway. Yet to strike gold in 8 starts, but was back last week, and I think it's got every chance to do the business here. Quivers Lady. Again, it's got lots of early speed and looking to lead on the outside.
A big night at Shawfield. Obviously, we do like the reaction from Crayford as well. Obviously, your local track.
It is, yeah. Only what, I don't. 20 minutes away, I suppose, if everything's working and the M25's smooth. And Saturday night, always a buzz down there. I've always enjoyed my nights there. I actually particularly enjoy running around there with the camera. Always have a good laugh. And
tough to find people on a Saturday night. That's how busy it is.
Yeah, I suppose so in many ways, yeah. Just never short of birthday parties and what have you. I think that's the same. Most tracks all up and down the country. I spend a lot of time at Toaster these days, and again, they're those weekend meetings, they're fantastic for celebrations, and they just seem to get even busier and busier, really. And it's the case of, certainly as the weather's breaking and people having celebrations, it's greyhound racing that they want to go to, which I think is really heartening, and we've got to make the most of that, and tracks need to make the most of that, really, and encourage that even more.
On the summer, a little tip for when you go Toaster, take some shades, or at least the cap, because the sun sets the other side of the track, so that was something we experienced last year, but there you go, learn always in these summer evenings, do take a pair of shades to Toaster with you.
Yeah, I have to say, there's not been a lot of call for that of late when we've been up there.
Will be.
It will be, and in fact, last Saturday it was a beautiful vista, beautiful. As the sun was setting in the far side, it was just lovely and very pink. So, you're absolutely right. Come Derby time. In fact, I'm there for the Trainers' Championship next week. They do say that the weather, in terms of temperature, is going to be quite warm in the middle of next week. So hopefully we'll set fair, which will be good, and looking forward to that, because that's going to be a fantastic night.
Good stuff, good stuff. Right, do get in touch with us, of course, at RP Greyhounds, rpgtv at racingpost.com. We do like to hear from you. Hopefully one or two of you out there are clutching some anti-post tickets for our Derby final, big prices.
Yeah, we want them to get in touch, especially those who've sort of got involved in some half-time kind of free action and want to get involved in the Greyhounds. Let's stick with us. Need to see all of that now, do you?
There is a certain football match on at the moment, but more pressing issues here. We've got this A8, 834 at Crayford. Vacant box on the inside. No Colster Zelda here, but Darryl Williams is the man on the mic.
Racing, and off they go. Nice start from Quivers Lady 6, who's stolen a couple of lengths. They go towards the first bend. 4 Isle of Elsa moving up into second, and nips round the bend now, closing in on the leader. Look out back to DC Jaeger 5. So at halfway, Quivers Lady 6, the outside of Isle of Elsa. Once again, 6 gains the advantage, goes on by a length from 4. 5 DC Jaeger picking up. They're well clear of the home turn. Quivers Lady 6 wide again. Vicadio Flatty 5 and 4 both challenging through the middle. 5 coming through. DC Jaeger beats the 6 and then 4.
DC's Jaeger getting up on the line there and putting a real bomb on your hopes there. Obviously, I'm sure you've had a Jaeger bomb or two in the past.
Oh, not like these days. Sadly, I have in the past, but yeah, absolutely not. Run a mile from those. Yeah, Trap 6 has done the business in terms of early. Did everything right, except for the second bend there. Just ran off and gave itself a lot of work to do. It must have given away about 2 or 3 lengths there, and a dog of the strength of DC's Jaeger has done the business, and Dean Charles's dog has come through in good style in the end. Still holding out hope off the last bend. 4 was pressing on the inside. Still felt the 6 was full of running, but not as strong as the big greyhound in between. Looks big, but 32 kilos is certainly bigger than the bitch. A 26 kilo in the stripes. 5 has won. 5 beats 6 in the 834.
Your outside box is dominating there. Right, up at Shawfield, we have our very own Jason Barrisford. Let's join him now.
Now, I'm very pleased to say I'm here with Ian Sutherland, of course, assistant trainer to the great Charlie Lister, who's, looking to make it an incredible 8 Scottish Derby victory.
Yeah, it would be nice. It's been a lucky place for us, so fingers crossed, we can day of the business tonight, but it's a really good race, so we'll see what happens, you know.
We got Dorothy's Vic, who's been simply spectacular. Just have to have a quick word though about Woohoo. How's he doing now, last year's champ?
Yeah, he's coming on all right. You say it's unfortunate he cut his foot up here in a trial before the derby, so he's got to have his web cut back, and you know, so he'll be off for about another month. But he's coming on well. He's coming on well.
Dorothy's Vic has just won the heat and semi-final, short-headed and 3/4 of a length over Wahida and the other edge, but could barely have been more impressive.
Yeah, you say he's took to the track really well. You know, he's come of age, this dog. You know, he took a bit of time to get going, but you know, he's the real deal now, and you know, he's the only unbeaten dog in the final. So, you know, fingers crossed he can make it free tonight and 8 for Charlie.
Well, he is, of course, from the Wonder Litter, and he does seem to be intelligent. Great track craft, takes almost, if you like, the path of least resistance.
Yeah, as I said, the first round, he looked like he was going out the first round. He went up into the first bend and looked like he was going out the competition. Then he seen a gap on the rail and he dived for that, and he come through and he won. And then last week he went round the outside of the dog. So, yeah, he's got a lot of track craft. As I say, it depends where he is round the first and second bend. If he's handy at the first and second bend, he'll not be far away. And
Drop Zone and indeed the other edge in 5 or 4, they're the greyhounds who really do hold their line. So again, pretty perfect for him.
Yeah, they said they've got a lot of early pace to him too. So I'm ideally, I like to be turning behind him round the first and second bend, and then you know he should show his pace up the back, and hopefully to get past him at the third bend and then kick on, like, you know.
Well, let's hope for every success tonight, and I know the owners are certainly looking forward to that. We've got a few of them here, and Ian, these are boys who know how to celebrate.
Oh, these know how to party, these lads. I tell you, if he wins tonight, they'll be right party.
Well, you can't give us a woohoo, but give us a Vic.
Is Vic here?
Good lad is Luke there on the left. Absolutely, and Tony Clark in the background as well. I'm sure they will have a good night. And Jason was seen partying with those guys about 4 in the morning last year, so it could be
just starting
the same again this year should Dorota's Vic do the business in our big final. 9:53, that Scottish Derby final. But coming up right now is a pretty warm puppy race here, Hobson. We've got 7 to 4 joint favs on our price guide in 1 and 3. Let's have a look at one of them, New In Jet, back on the 12th of March. This was on the channel on a Monday night, doing the business from Trap 2.
Yeah, this was on its debut, New In Jet, and you know, he showed plenty for me on this occasion. Ultimately, Courtside Darcy reversed the form in the final of this small puppy event, but I think it was a puppy event, might have been maiden, but you know, good run I thought from New In Jet, and at this stage you think, well, you know, this dog looks above average, and I still think he's above average. He was beaten by Greenwell Jet in the trial, but Pat has given him a couple of looks there. He's left nothing to chance. Fantastic trainer, and I'm sure that New In Jet's going to run a big race here. I just purely and simply went on the trial line of form and went with Pat Flaherty's Greenwell Jet, who beat New In Jet in their trial. Didn't see it, of course, but on bare form, 5 maybe just for me, but wouldn't be the biggest surprise. And given that what he did on debut, I'd be cheering on New In Jet just as much as well.
Yeah, our price guide has it 3 runners really here. New In Jet on the inside for Pat Rosney and the Pat Flaherty duo, Greenwell Jean and Greenwell Jet. Do get in touch with us. Any emails over there, Hobbsy?
We've got 1 or 2 technical issues at the moment, and our huge number of staff outside, about 52, unfortunately they're all hard at it and they can't quite do the emails at the moment. So I'm sure they will filter through in due course.
Good stuff. Right, I'm going to be with Greenwell Jean here at 2 to 1. I don't think it's going to be living with New In Jet early on, but I was up at Newcastle, Laurel's final night, and Greenwell Jean absolutely took off, really caught the eye, and looks a real smart type here. This is a very warm puppy race, this one, 480 metres, £500 up for grabs. I'm going to be with Track 3.
It seems as if Savannah Doney has beaten Headford Kev in the second semi-final, the Golden Crest. So thank you very much, KH, for that, and good luck with this 8:41 at Shawfield as well. You can catch us on Twitter at Hobbsy67 and at Dave Clark RP. So if the emails are playing up, then catch us on there.
Good stuff. You can catch that final on the channel, of course. We'll try and get that final line-up before the end of the night for you. We've got a result popping through there along the bottom, so hopefully our data supply is back up and running. Star's going to check them over here for this 841, the Rpgtv Puppy Stakes, £500 up for grabs, and Hobbsy with a call.
Thank you very much, Clarkie. This is Racing Post Greyhound TV Puppy. 1 and 5 market rivals. And they're away. Good start from New In Jet as 5 just gets hampered out the boxes, and New In Jet for Pat Rosney is clear into the first bend and goes round a couple of lengths in front and looking to reverse that form with Greenwell Jet, and it's going great guns at the moment. Here comes the 5, big run into bend 3, but it's New In Jet, the red jacket. It still has the advantage there. They're queuing up in behind though, and 3 and 5 comes swooping round on the inside and runs wide. It's Greenwell Jet who hits the front. Is going to win it for the first time in 6 or 7 starts now. Greenwell Jet wins for owner trainer Pat Flaherty. Breaks his duck. 1 gets back up towards the pickup, but the damage has been done. Success for Greenwell Jet, running out of race 5. Wins our 6th race at Shawfield. The Racing Post Greyhound TV Puppy. Greenwell Jean, the litter mate of the 5s, run a big race as well. I think it was a very, very good puppy race.
Indeed, a little bit messy there. I think just watch 5 out the boxes, edging in into 4, and good value for this win here. Greenwell Jet, New In Jet, sorry, getting off the front and blazing a trail, but as you rightly mentioned, Hobbsy, the trail form stacking up well.
Well, I mean, at this stage, I have to say that I thought New In Jet was away and gone, but I thought he's run a sensational back straight, hasn't he, Greenwell Jet, to get back into the things. He's probably done his litter sister Greenwell Jean no favours there, running up the inside of the 3 there. And then he's still got New In Jet, and they came together. There wasn't a lot of room. Red was barged aside. To be fair to New In Jet, he's come back again at them, but that's a good performance from the 5. Don't know how good this dog will be now that he's broken his duck.
Toast the bound, maybe?
You'd like to think so, wouldn't you? They have come down. Wouldn't be surprised.
Okay, we'll keep an eye on the front three there. Looks 3 nice types. Up at Shawfield, we've got our very own Jason Beresford.
Well, I'm very pleased to say I'm here with the champ. Now, there's not a lot missing from Mark CV. World Championship of Poker, unlikely. Masters Champion, improbable. And, amazingly, Scottish Derby.
Yes, it's probably the most achievable one of those 3 things, that's for sure. But, yeah, certainly come into tonight's race with some sort of chance. It looks a really competitive final.
Well, we should mention you're part owner as well of Black Farron. How hard was it to, if you like, inherit a dog who'd achieved so much?
Well, we did actually buy him before he was well known and before he had a great run in the Irish Derby. You know, it was a massive thrill for myself and all the owners. You know, it was so strange actually being over there owning a dog and having people not come up to you and say, "How's the dog tonight, Mark?" You know, it was quite fun owning him, and Graham did a fantastic job for you know, getting him to reach the final, and then he ran a blinder in the race, and I think any other year his time and everything could have won an Irish Derby. So he's a good dog, and he's just starting to show his true form over here.
Yeah, well, and it's a brilliant training performance, because it was, if you like, I read on your website, weather interrupted, really preparation coming over, so you've had to take your time.
Yeah, well, the key thing was in his last race, the Night of the Stars, he picked up an injury, and fair play to Graham, he fixed him up before he came to us, but he'd had that 2 or 3 months off, and you know, some of these older type dogs, they take a little bit of work to get fit, and you know, when they come over at the start of January, it's not the best time, January, February, March, to be trying to get those trials and races into him that he needs. You know, thankfully we've had touch better weather the last 2 or 3 weeks, and he seems to be coming to hand nicely. You know.
How about the, if you like, the reversal of the draw with King?
Well, that would have been ideal, I must admit. You know, Lightfoot King has definitely got a tendency to move middle. Having said that, it's not got blistering early, or he can, but if he pops out and takes her ground, there's our chance gone. You know, for us to win, there's dangers aplenty, of course. But he really needs to ping those lids, boss the inside, and hopefully, like he did last week in the semi-finals, where he sort of barged his way to the front. You know, he should come on again for the run. But I still think he'll be a better dog in another month's time, hopefully through the English Derby, you know. So anything he does tonight is a real bonus.
And just to mention, in the quarterfinals and the semi-finals of the Irish Derby, which he won, he back ran some good dogs there, didn't he, to come through?
Yes, he is. He's got all-round ability, both from in front and behind. But I think at this stage of his preparations and where we are with him this year, I think for him to be able to win, he would have to lead up.
Thanks, Mark. Now, very quickly, Bruce's Bullet, Bomber's Bullet didn't quite make it here, but they're both in trial stakes at Toaster tonight.
Yes, I don't think they was really that suited to this track. You know, they're both very fast dogs, and to be fair, they didn't get much of a run last week. The pair of them came together with Barry Draper's bitch, and that was the end of that sort of thing, you know. But all's well with the two, and they're in trial stakes tonight, so hopefully they can go well tonight. And you know, we're going to have some dilemmas for our Trainers Championship team next week. You know, I really want to see how the results go here and at Toaster tonight. We've got Ball Sports Duke in a track championship final there as well, who's running really well, and Ruby's Razzle. So, you know, we've got plenty to pick from for next week's Trainers Championship as well.
We'll be getting one through in the Grand National next.
Yes, we had a good night there last night, and you know, again, didn't probably go there with great expectations, having to beat some of Ricker's real good ones, and but they did well last night, and hopefully they'll carry that on and you know, get at least one to the final.
Best of luck with Farron tonight, and if not tonight, you better keep practicing that poker.
Yeah, yes. Thanks, Jason. Thank you.
Cheers. Brilliant, Mark.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good to hear from the champion trainer Mark Wallace with his Black Farron in the final of our big race, the Rpgtv Scottish Derby final. Was of course runner-up in the Irish Derby, when trained by Graham Holland, and now Mark training Black Farron and winning the semi-final last week, and a big runner, Hobbsy.
Yeah, very big runner, I think, if breaking, needs to break, but certainly has a big chance. We're going to concentrate though on the 851 at Crayford. I've gone with Pesky 1 in Trap 6. These are now official odds at Crayford. The Gremlins have been sorted. I think we have a chance though to see the triathlotti. So yeah, here's a triathlon supporting Greyhound Triathlotti running out of Trap 5 for Katie O'Flaherty, who's doing the business on March the 31st here. Makes all to beat Yes That's True in 23.61. And looking to do exactly the same again. And this is the Cody Cope Cricket Club pre-season stakes. Fantastic. So the cricket club, no doubt ensconced in the restaurant there, or the bar area at Crayford tonight, having a top time. And well, I assume they're not playing tomorrow.
Well, you hope so. Hope not. Yeah, do inquire at your local track about sponsoring. I mean, it's not a fortune. You're looking at £100 max at most tracks. You know, you get a night in the restaurant, present the trophy, great night.
I don't know how the deal works, but I think it's sort of one of these things that if you're bringing a good few people along for a table or something, then I'm sure that just put your name in lights as such, I think it's too hard to do. So,
who are we going for, Hobbsy?
I'm with Trap 6. Pesky 1 has got to come away, especially with the performance and the early pace that you've just seen of Triathlotti inside, but I think it's got a pretty good make-up nevertheless. Pesky 1, and has got pace at both ends as well. It's got form over 714, so I think we might have 2 bites at the cherry where Pesky 1 is concerned. And looks as if the Gremlins in the house have been sorted, as I say, and emails are coming back in, which is good.
What do you got for us?
Not yet.
Not yet. I do like Keeper Hill Dove here in the white jacket. Nice early speed. A little bit hit and miss at the boxes, but it's not one you want to be taking a short price about. But did go out of 5s into 4s. I'll take a chance for that one. I think the smash break might just make all here.
Now, I did see Mick Grubb had been on. Have we mentioned this?
No, not yet.
Good evening to 2 good fellas, he says. Impressive turn of foot from Pat Flaherty's Greenwell Jet. Please wish John McCallum the very best of luck tonight with Gazilli Shea. Hope he obliges for the Fire Brigade lads. And that's from Mick Grubb. Thank you very much to you, Mick.
Fire Brigade lads, and the Syndicate is of course the Smoking Hot Syndicate. So one for the locals there in that 500 final, which is fast approaching. Just a couple of races. We've got the race 7 coming up from Shawfield after this at Crayford, and that race 8 is indeed your £2,000 Racing Post Greyhound TV 500 final. But let's go to Darryl with a call here.
And the racing, off they go. Through the middle, 3 broke well, Keep It Held Up. Stills an early length out of 5, Triathlotti. And then 1 just having to check off the debutant Revis Ralph for the first bend. 6 into 3rd now, Pesky 1. And Handley placed the halfway. Keep It Held Up by length 3. 5 Triathlotti. 6 is going to try and slip up the inside, Pesky 1. As they go down towards the home bend. And he's coming through, bounding through Pesky 1. Goes on now from 5 Triathlotti as they go towards the line. 6 on top, 3 through the middle. Might have got second, Keep It Held Up. Followed in by probably 5 and then 1.
Pesky 1 making the big move at the 3rd bend for Hobbsy. Another winner. Hobbsy absolutely flying tonight at both Crayford and Shawfield. Was very, very brave, Hobbsy, at the 3rd bend, and that's where it counted.
Yeah, it certainly did. I said we might have 2 bites of the cherry here, and we did with Pesky 1's got form over 2 laps. This was over 1 lap. Keeper Hill Dove cracked on early on, but you just thought that Pesky 1, I think as DW said in commentary, was certainly close enough. And if you were on the 6, didn't you just love the way he barged past them at that 3rd bend? No checking up there. I want to lead. I want to get there. I want to win this race, and that's exactly what he's done. Beautiful.
Yeah, took a whack out that 2nd bend as well from 5. I think 5 might have hit the rail at the corner. Cannoned into 6. A good value for that win. Tom Lever's Pesky 1 there. Another one for the Stripes. Close for 2nd. Between 3 and 5 there. Right, enough from Crayford. Let's join Jason back at Shawfield.
Now, I'm very pleased to say I'm here with one of the shrewdest men in the business, knows what it takes to win the Rpgtv Scottish Derby. It's Pat Rosney. Hello, Pat.
Hello, Jason.
The other reg tonight, big chance?
Well, obviously we hope so, but it's a good race, you know, he's going to have to do everything right. Thank you.
I heard you describe him as being in the greyhound style full of gut.
Yeah, he is, yeah. Yeah, you know, he will stand his ground, head down, stand his ground, especially around the bends.
I mean, people think back to that Laurel's victory over Expert, and in a way the draw not dissimilar to tonight.
Yeah, same box, lot of pace in the race. He needs another break like that tonight. That's going to help him massively, you know.
The break, obviously, I mean, he finishes out the race. Again, I read a quote from you. Sometimes can hit a slight flat spot in the middle.
Yeah, semi flat spot in the back straight. But it's easy to say that when you've got dogs like Dorota's Vic, Droopy's Expert chasing you down and that. But once he turns that 3rd bend, he'll boot on again, you know, and if we could just get to that 3rd bend in front, we'd have a great chance. The hard bit's getting to the 3rd bend in front.
He's absolutely buzzing. Loves the place, of course, won the puppy last year.
Yeah, he's run well round here. His trials are great round here before it started. After last year, we always had an eye on this competition. You know, we had to. You know.
He's been all around the shop, won at Toastermore, Moynards, Bellevue, Newcastle.
Yeah,
which
it's been a smashing dog.
Now, Racing Post Greyhound TV Puppy, they didn't have the competition, which won the last 3 years. Are you going to tell us about New and Jet?
Yeah, thank you. He's a dog that's only had a couple of races. He'd be giving away quite a bit of age here and experience, but I like him. I like him a lot. First trial was good. I would probably put a line through last week's trial. Like the going was shocking on the inside when he trialled last week. I would ignore that. It got a little bit better for racing, but for trials it was really bad on the rails. And but I think he's got a good chance.
Full brother to New in Shadow?
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. He's one for the future. You know, I like it. I do like him, and if he can make that bend in front, real good chance.
And a pity they didn't have the competition this year, or presumably would have been in that.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. We were trialling him for it, yeah.
8.59, the Rpgtv standard, a favourite. Last year's finalist, Azuri Genesis, going from 2. Are you going to tell us about him?
Yes, thank you. Needs to do everything right at the boxes. It's crucial for him.
We were discussing off tape, as it were, Westway O'Neill in 3 will be moving towards the rail.
Definitely. It'd have been a lot better for us if they were drawn the other way around. So the break is going to be crucial for him, and he needs to do that right. If he does, good chance.
Excellent, Pat. As ever, lots of thanks and best of luck for tonight.
Many thanks. Thank you.
Good stuff there. Always great to hear from Pat Rosney. Great trainer.
Yep.
Great trainer. And Jason having to pay him to talk to us. A little bit reluctant sometimes, but he's a great guy, is Pat. And he knows his way around a greyhound. He's, of course, won the Rpgtv Scottish Derby a couple of years ago, of course, with the superstar that was Swift Hoffman. And he'll be looking to do the same again tonight with the other reg. He's got a Zuri Genesis here, Hobbsy. We're going to have a look at back on the 19th of March from Trap 1 at Nottingham, and a big fancy of yours tonight.
Yeah, this was in a smaller competition back on March the 19th, as you say, and a good win at Nottingham, showing plenty off the front. Wins in 28.53. It's a good effort over the 480-metre trip. Ran in the Scottish Derby, finished behind Barefoot Painter. I know it was a hand time, but nevertheless, Paul Henderson's dog was the fastest heat. So it was in the fastest heat. Now, if you remember that night, I thought pretty sloppy going. Didn't really suit a Zuri Genesis. I think he's better off the front. Never really got off the front. And only really sort of faded, I thought, to close home. I think he goes off the front tonight. You feel that Ashbank Christie can beat him, and certainly Julie Bateson has started the night well with the very impressive Ballymac Healy, but I'll take you on with the 2.
Yeah, it's all like the boxes really for me. I think Zuri Genesis has comfortably got the better early of all these, but he's not a lid pinger, and Pat mentioned, you know, he'd be hoping that he could get a start out of his Zuri Genesis, who is a classy sort. You know, he made the final of the Scottish Derby, and should he come away, then I think he'd probably make all. But he's not a lid pinger. He's got the early speed, but I mean, 3. Anyone who watched Westway O'Neill last week, Westway O'Neill was in trap 3, trapped out, and just bored left straight away, straight into the rail. Took out 1, took out 2, and that could well be the same again here tonight. Greenwell Simmer will be edging over as well at a big price, 10-1. So if you're with me and roaming in on Ashbank Christie, you wouldn't want to start out of that one. But I felt went to the corner okay last week, Ashbank Christie, and showed a little bit down the back as well. So we might need a little bit of help from Westway O'Neill in trap 3 coming across towards the fence. But yeah, I like the draw of 4. 8.59 Racing Post TV standard. They are all locked away now. 2-1. Joint Favs, Westway O'Neill for Peter Aiken. And Ashbank Christie in 4 for Julie Bateson, has already struck tonight in our sprint with Ballymac Keeley. Bunny on the spin. Good luck with whatever you're backed here. And they're off and racing, and 2 and 3 coming together, and 3 taking care of 1 and 2 on the inside, and there's trouble. And 4's escaped here. Ashbank Christie gone a couple of lengths clear from 5. Greenwell Simba, 1 doing some running down the back as well, but the Black Jacket is off the front here. Good couple of lengths clear from 5. A little bit of schmozzle out the back there, and 3 and 2 are shuffling backwards, but the Black Jacket turns for home. A good 5-6 lengths clear from 5 and 1 who are staying on, but 4 has made the most of the good draw there and scooted clear. The Black Jacket of Ashbank Christie doing the business from 5 and 1 back in 3rd.
Great tip, and you've absolutely read the race to perfection, because trap 4, Ashbank Christie, has made the most of the antics of Westway O'Neill out of the bend, looking for the rails there, came together with Zuri Genesis, who wasn't strong enough to withstand that pressure. That's cleared the way for trap 4, and what a night Julie Bateson is having, because that's a great effort. Is that your nap?
It was indeed.
That was your nap. Fantastic. Matching my nap as well. So terrific effort from you, Clarkie, because Ashbank Christie has done the business off the front. But as we say, Julie Bates has done us both proud tonight in separate races. Well done to her. She's had some good success at Shawfield over the years. And Minala Cruiser comes to mind straight away. But well done to trap 4. Great effort and great tipping.
Good stuff. The Black Jacket doing the business there. Ashbank Christie beating 5 and 1 back in third. You see along the bottom of the screen there. And of course, look, there we go. Track challenge as well. We've got the lot. We're all back in action now. The Orange Jacket is off the front, and we've got plenty more to come after this break. Welcome back to Rpgtv on this fine Saturday evening. We're at Crayford and Shawfield, of course, for the Rpgtv Scottish Derby final. Jonathan Hobbs is with us, peering at an email there or two.
Yeah, we have. We got that tweet from El Marchio, who says, Dave Clark, RP, Hobbsy, 67, you need to catch the replay of the 8:45 at Toaster. I think there'll be a new Derby favourite in the morning. Droopy's Verve of Angela Harrison's has, suffice to say, taken off. 28.80, I think, beating King Kid and Bruiser's Bullet in phenomenal style.
Wow.
Terrific off the front, so well done to you guys. Chuck Caseby says, had the Grand National winner, so well done with Chuck and Tiger Roll. 2 anti-post bets running the final tonight as well. He's having a big weekend, trap 2 and trap 5. Then Rangers to beat Celtic tomorrow, he says. Birthday on Monday. Oh, what a weekend. Oi, oi, says Chuck. You want some more?
Skurlock Champ just quickly has been back on. He says, Jonathan, I'll bid you £500 for your crystal ball. Good tipping tonight. Red hot.
Well, until the last race where Clarkey took over. Right, David McMillan says, great show. I was never far away from Shawfield when I lived 2 miles from it. I live further away now. And I'm also disabled, so I can't get to it anymore. I'd love to have met my favourite pundit in Dave Clark. Oh, sorry, actually says JK here. Great pro. Thank you very much for bringing Shawfield right into my home, and that's from David McMillan, Uddingstone G71. We'll send JK to your house.
Lovely stuff.
Instead, David.
We were speaking during the break. There's, you know, been up at Shawfield. It's a great night, whether it be the first round or the final. And it is a crying shame that there's only one track in Scotland because they love their racing up there.
Yeah, no, it is. But it's a fantastic running track. It is unique. It's certainly a very old stadium. I remember going the last. I haven't been for about 3 or 4 years now, but I thought it certainly had massively improved in terms of creature comforts there. They've done some great work there. The racing's always top notch. The Scottish Derby itself is just a sort of a must watch really for local patrons and people maybe from further afield as well. There's so much going on in the world these days, in the sporting world, Dave. It's very tough for people to make it anywhere if they're not football or horse racing or wherever really. But nevertheless, if you've never been, it's always worth a visit, especially around Scottish Derby time.
Indeed, they have a great night up there tonight. Right, they are on parade for this E3, which is 2 laps of the track at Crayford, 714 metres. Your favourite is Bullseye Lola, 7 or 4. And we're going to have a little look at Bullseye Lola back on the 7th of April. This was last time up. Also in the race, Weatherstorm was in trap 4 and Slippy Cathy was in trap 6.
Yeah, and this ground in the Orange Jacket is the one that wins for the Bullseye Racing Club. The lads, I sat with them a few weeks ago. I think it was Jack and James and of course trained by Tom Levers, came through in good style, did Bullseye Lola on this particular occasion. 10 wins on the card. And, she's certainly close enough, if good enough, but ultimately only does win by half a length. Might be difficult to shake off here for many.
My lay tonight.
This is your lay of the day, is it? Right.
Purely on the price, because on the VT we're watching here, I mentioned it's 4, 5 and 6 that are in 3, 4 and 5 tonight, but Bullseye Loader was 7 or 2. Slippy Cathy was 7 to 4 in the VT. There's only half a length between them.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden they're 3s and was 7 to 4. So purely on the price, I wanted to take Bullseye Loader on. It was a short of 6 to 4 on the earlies, and the money is very much coming for the 6 here, Hobbsy. But who do you like?
I like the 4. I think she's always there or thereabouts. I think she'll just be pulling out sufficient amount to maybe win this. But big respect to Nick Carter's Cross Garney Craney for Mr. Craney himself, and did go close last time, and would try to look to go off the front here and could actually escape the pack, so it's not the biggest surprise to see the money for the 6, but I'm going to stick with 4. I think he's in good heart at the moment. Do you want some more emails?
Yeah, I like 2 just quickly. Mineola Mustang on the inside, got a real desire to win, gutsy one, real gutsy bitch for Tom Lever. So at the prices, I'll go with 2. Fire away.
Yeah, and Sean McKee has just reminded So the fact that it was 10 years since that him and the gang, and most notably the legendary Seamus Graham, were there with Loyal Honcho in the final. So that was 10 years ago.
Some real superstars win the Scottish Derby, even in recent years. You know, Ballymatt-Eski, Swift Hoffman.
That's right. Yeah, both. You know, certainly Ground of the Year, weren't they? Swift Hoffman was, and yeah, I mean, it's been great. I do remember. I mean, Westmead Hall never won it, but he was in the final. I remember that was a phenomenal final as well, because he took off down the back. I think it was Fear Me. I'm sure they had that buckle up the home straight. I mean, that was 2006. I mean, it was extraordinary.
I did note a few notable names that have won it. Some Picture, Shark King, Larkill Joe, Farlow Verdict.
Well, Shark King and Some Picture went on to win the English derbies, didn't they? Farlow Verdict got the verdict in the English derby. She won it on the disqualification of Droopy Stewart. Some Picture then went on to reach the final of the Irish derby as well. And Rapid Ranger, I think, was third in his Scottish derby. He ended up winning the English derby, and then finishing second, I think, to Judicial Pride, I think, in the Irish derby. So there's always, I mean, I'm a great romantic when it comes to this. It's about the Triple Crown. And, you know, looking at the field today, I wonder, I mean, Black Farron's gone second in the Irish derby last year. You're always thinking, will that greyhound then go on to England and then to Ireland? And obviously it's Toast the next stop after Shawfield.
Of course it is, and I'm sure prices will tumble of the winner. 9:09 at Crayford. 2 laps of the track here, and we'll join Darryl Williams with a call.
Air sent on its journey then, twice round. E3 the grade, no trap one. And they're racing and off they go. 4 in the middle trying to accelerate away. 6 is making a move though as they go around that first bend. So Crossgar Craney, that goes on by a couple of lengths from 2 up into second place. Mineola Mustang, then 5 Slippy Cathy, couple of lengths away to Weatherstorm, and now at the back is Bullseye Lola as they come down to the 4th bend then with more than a circuit to run. Crossgar Craney for Nick Carter continues to lead. She's gone wide, but she's 3 lengths ahead than a Mineola Mustang. Another length away then to Slippy Cathy as they make their way down the far side. And the leader begin to come back to the field. Perhaps 6's leads down about a length now. 2 Mineola Mustang, 5 up the inside. 3 is trying to slot the eye through the needle there. Weatherstorm, they go towards the final bend, and Weatherstorm is coming through. Trap 3 Weatherstorm goes on by a length from Slippy Cathy. Weatherstorm doesn't win very often, in front by 3 lengths, and gets it right tonight. 3 beats 5. 2 was in third, 3-5-2.
Weatherstorm strikes then for Belinda Green. Win number 3, only win number 3 on 49th start. 2 laps of the track, Hobbsy, but it wasn't until the 7th bend that the race really unfolded.
Last to first. Last going into that first bend was the eventual winner, Weatherstorm. You just felt that Bullseye Lola really wasn't stretching out that well. I thought after that first bend bump, I mean, she was beaten a long way in the end, but it was trap 6. The money was down for Crossgar Craney, who was trying to stretch them out up front. Never really got far enough clear. 2 and 5 came with a big run. Weatherstorm from off the back has come from a long way, and Bullseye Lola, you know, your late of the day is well and truly beaten out the back. Never really recovered, it seemed, from first bend trouble, but down the far side, 3 is going to take the inside line, and pretty brave there. Weatherstorm, 31 kilos, a dog trained by Belinda Green and owned by the Green family. Weatherstorm wins our 909.
Yeah, not out of turn either. Win number 3. 49 there. Only 5 going, so no tri-cast, 3 beating 5, as you can see there now on our graphic at the bottom. So Weatherstorm doing the business there. This is what I like. Borowati's been on. He did his cash anti-post on Calico Ranger in the Scottish Derby, but he's on Gazelle Shay at 14-1 in our big final. So do get in touch if you are clutching those big tickets, because that race is coming up now, our 500, and we're going to have a look at some VT, the 3 heats from last week. Right, first one up, Follow Falcon in trap 3, beating Baldini Zorro, who goes from trap 5 and 3 tonight.
Yeah, good pace shown by Follow Falcon, but not as good as Baldini Zorro, who cut a dash from trap 5. I mean, we'll probably give Follow Falcon a bit of space today because he's next door now in trap 3, but good surge down the back from Follow Falcon. Bends 2 to 3, really did press the button and kicked on in good style. 30-30 the winning time, which was the fastest of these Rpgtv 500 heats.
Yeah, real illustration there of just how long that back straight is at Shawfield. It is a monster, and Philo Falcon was eating up the ground. Right, heat 2 then, coming up here, and in this heat we've got a dead heat. Of course, it was a dead heat. How Crow Bound, the old favourite, won it 2 years ago. He won the heat along with Killiford Banjo in boxes 4 and 2 respectively.
Yeah, great run, and it's that lady once again, isn't it, Julie Bateson? She's got another runner here, and I think she said in an interview with JC Ace a little bit earlier that How Crow Bound very much was one of her favourites, and I think, memory serves, is it second or third time I think he's been up here for this competition, so he's he may have won it a couple of years back for Jeff Kingsnorth, and he's dead heated here with Killiford Banjo, running out of 4 and 2 respectively, and they are the qualifiers. And Killiford Banjo, I think, is a nice improving sword against the fence.
Yeah, after the parade we will look at the other heat here. We'll have a look at them on parade. How Crow Bound and Julie on parade there. 5 Chompy's Jet for Angus Ferguson, and we'll see Gazilli Shea there. Dave Smith on parade. Smoking Hot Syndicate for the Gary Carmichael kennel. Was a good winner. I mean, there were 1 or 2 suggesting that the wet track favoured those on the outside, and Gazilli Shea fared well in that last week, but he's a classy sort. I know they thought a hell of a lot of him, and Six Bends seems to be his on the agenda for Gazilli Shea.
He will be. He's a very strong running sort. He's a likeable sort for the Smoking Hot Syndicate. I've taken him on tonight. I just felt that he got a rare flyer, which you can see here as we run heat 3 of the 500. With Gazilli Shea running out of trap 6, who's going to beat Chompy's Jet in trap 3. Chompy's gets an absolute flyer with a terrific burst of pace. But look where Gazilli Shea is. Not often that he goes round.
Turns that
handy.
He
never usually goes round that handy. And I think thereafter, I think I was listening to Richard in the studio, who sort of said that he just kind of felt that maybe where it was, you almost expected Gazilli Shea to have hit the front sooner. Now, having said that, he rightly credited him for the way he's pulled clear, and 2 3/4 lengths at the line. It was an impressive performance. Got a big fan club there, which I'm slightly disappointed, because I thought they'd be steaming in, Dave, and I thought it'd be an even money or 5-4 chance. But it's on the slide, 7-4 out of 2-1. What are they doing? I suppose they're playing up their anti-post vouchers. One man who's got an anti-post voucher is Andrew Rule White. Hello guys, hopefully my 25-1 on Black Farron comes in tonight. Put it on a while back. Been a nail biter seeing him come through the heat. Andrew, good luck, Andrew, there.
You're on a big price, Hobbsy, Black Farron?
Yeah, 20s, only small, but not as lumpy as 1 or 2 of the owners, and they've got a big team of very successful men who are cheering on Black Farron tonight. Michael Curtis says, hi guys, why is Black Farron 6-1? I've lumped on, trained by the master Mark Wallace. I feel a ping coming, loving the show as always. Let's hope
He's the master in the big finals, isn't he, Mark
you've
Wallace?
got, if you've got the master in trap 2, what do you call Charlie in trap 6?
The legend.
Mark the Master and legendary Lister. Yeah, is that something along those alliteration there? James Creera says, this big Jim boy, you should be at the track.
I was hoping he was going to meet Jason tonight.
That would have been nice. That would have been a great interview. Big Jim boy versus Jace. Guys, just watch Droopy's Verve demolish a good field at Toaster with ease. I'm on at big prices for the Derby. Oi, you see, I suppose, look, we're covering the Scottish Derby tonight, but he's across everything, this big Jim boy, isn't he? You know, and best seat in the house is sitting on the sofa at the moment. So Droopy's Verve is the catch line for Robert Parker. Nice to hear from you, Robert. In case people have not seen Droopy's Verve, I became trap 4 or 5 draw leads and bolts up to beat a good field to win a flying 28.87.
It was a good field. It was a good field.
Cut to 20-1 favourite now for the Derby. Thanks to Robert Parker there.
Right, I'm with the money here, Hobbsy. Philo Falcon, are you against 6? Are you with 2 against it, or just anything?
I'm actually with 1, Killiford Banjo. I thought the 1 got a chance to lead the Philo Falcon, and I thought we'd go on, and 2 might come back to it, and we'll see where 6 is. It's too big a price for me, 6 maybe, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm with you. I thought 6 was going to be fab, but they are all locked away now. Racing Post Greyhound TV 500 final, £2,000 up for grabs.
Here we go. Yes, it's a 2-run and a £2,000 final, I should say. Traps are open and they come away, and it's Chompy's Jet In fact, it's Baldini Zorro leads into the first bend, but it's Killiford Banjo who goes round, shows good pace. But look where Gazilli Shea is down the far side. The 6 is looking to put it down, but it's the red jacket. Killiford Banjo leads for Neil Black. He's got a couple of lengths clear. Gazilli Shea is looking to pick up, and he's a strong running sort. It's the red jacket that leads from Gazilli Shea. They're going to cheer him down the lane, but the one looks to have scooted clear. The one's going to win. Killiford Banjo wins a Hobbsy. 1 beats 6 in the Rpgtv 500 final.
Yeah, great tip, Hobbsy. Fantastic tip there. 2 not too quick into stride, Farlow, Falcon, and 3 steering off violently. Trap 3 moving off there, but it was indeed Killiford Banjo. 1 for the locals, were dead heated with Halcrow Bound in the heat. Bombed out the boxes, Hobbsy, and run amok.
Yeah, it did. I was expecting Chompy's Jet to come out. It was actually trap 3. Baldini Zorro trapped out at move across, came across Chompy's Jet, and that just paved the way for the red. But to be fair, where Gazilli Shea was, you just felt maybe 6 might just get there. But I think a faster track tonight has seen Killiford Banjo really escape the pack, and that's another one for the Trap Challenge backers of the red.
Yeah, good stuff there from Killiford Banjo in the red jacket, and Gazilli Shea, every chance really, you'd have to say, where he turned, Hobbsy.
I think every chance, yeah. Look, he's run a good race, hasn't he, Gazilli Shea? I'm sure his time will come over a little bit further than this in time, and he will not be stopping, I'm sure, over the 6 bends.
Well done to Neil Black and his team there. Killiford Banjo in the red jacket, owner and trainer doing the business there. And a little over half an hour now to go. We've got the £20,000 Racing Post Greyhound TV Scottish Derby on the way very soon. Welcome back to Rpgtv. You can see connections there. Neil Black trainer, Killiford Banjo doing the business. Great tip in the studio here from Jonathan Hobbs. 4-1 chance. Beating Gazilli Shea back in second, and your 5-4 favourite, Farlow Falcon, back in third. Doing the business. 1 for the locals in our Racing Post Ground TV 500 final. Fantastic effort that. Did have a good draw to work from and took full advantage of that, did Killiford Banjo. Good stuff in the red jacket.
Jan Dayton, yeah, no, there has maybe 1 or 2 people have tried to name a greyhound vacant just for the laugh, but I don't think we'll get it through. But that would confuse us. We're pretty easily confused, as you know, so that really would confuse us if we see a greyhound bounding out of what we perceive as a vacant trap. But anyway, thank you. David McMillan says, thanks, Hobbsy, for the shout-out. Trap 1 for the Derby. David McMillan, Uddingston. Yeah, there you go, because that's where JK will be heading with biscuits.
Will the biscuits make it there, though?
Yeah, well, no, probably not. Frankie McAvoy says, hi, lads, great show as always. Can you say hello to my friend Declan Casey in Cavan, who tells me Black Farron won't be beat tonight? If he's wrong, it's beans on toast for a week. Oh. Regards, Frankie.
But what happens if he wins? Steak and chips every night for a week, surely.
Sounds good to me.
Good stuff. Right, just a quick tweet here from Jason Gander, who was obviously from Derby sponsor Star Sports. 25-1, the Verve. They are there, so they like what they saw. But we are building up, of course, Hobbsy, to our big final here in a couple of races' time. And we will encourage those to snap up the early prices before they open up on track, because it will be big prices. So a reminder of your selection in our big final. I know you're clutching a big ticket for Black Farron and you're going for.
I have. I mean, you know, maybe is that the heart and the head? I think a little bit of both. Still think that it's overpriced. That, you know, your 5-6 to 1s. I can't quite get that. I do understand, you know, the massive claims of DeRota's Vic. He's running as well as he ever has. Brother won it last year. He's trained by the legendary Charlie Lister. He's won 7 Scottish derbies as Charlie. Big chance. The other reg for Pat Rosney. You know, Pat's dogs are running well. Cracking early pace as well. Born on account, Pat Buckley feels that there's a big run in his dog as well. And then you've got Elaine Parker's and Drop Zone. I still think Drop Zone is going to have a say in this. But I just look on the inside. I think there's you fancy Lightfoot King. I think that battle of the inside is absolutely essential and crucial. And I don't think that the 2 box is that bad for Black Farron. I think he'll work well from it. So I'm going to go with a 2.
Right, do take your early prices. That's why we was reminding you there, because you won't get a bigger price once they open up one track, I guarantee. that. Right, they are on parade, 9:27. Let's have a little look at the lady on the inside here, Champagne Amy, who was going from track 1 again, finishing second last week, Hobbsy, on the 7th of April.
Yeah, finished very, very well after problems in the red jacket. They had a clear run going into the turn, just a little bit of a bump at that stage, but down the far side it got clear of the problems, and Gemma Davidson's bitch comes through in good style, looking to challenge Core Greek Banker. Doesn't get there, but beating a length in the end as they straightened up for home. 6 went on, but they've gone clear of the rest, so maybe the form is pretty good. Certainly our VT boys and girls tonight are pretty sweet in the chances of Champagne Amy to show some fizz. I think that Name Tabzuki running out of trap 4 can do the business, so I think it's due a smasheroo from the boxes.
Yep, agree. Also in that VT, of course, was Upton Gunner in 3, and what's Dolly up to in 5? Right, as I mentioned, the Scottish Derby is approaching. That is 9:53. This is the 9:27 at Crayford, and there's every chance, in fact it's almost certain, that we will be recording the 9:45 at Crayford, just in our build-up towards that big final. We will show it, and we'll show it as live, the 9:45 from Crayford, so you won't miss a single second of the action. It'll just be a little bit delayed while we're building up to our big race, probably be shown after that big final. Final at 9:53, we'll be recording the 9:45. Myself and Hobbsy are with Name Tabzuki here in the 4. We're hoping for a fast start, but just a reminder, 9:45 will be recorded, and we will show it as live. We won't know the result before you. Well, me and Hobbsy won't anyway in the studio here, but we'll be recorded and shown after that big final. The big final at 9:53. Last one going in here, Upton Gunner. 3-1 chance for Jim Daly and the Pope and Lang lads. Starter is going to come and check them over now. 7-4 now this Fav. Name Tabzuki and Darryl Williams with a call.
Harris on the move, Hares on its journey. Racing, off they go. Nice start, that's why. 6 on the near side. Through the centre, Name Tabzuki, though, got tremendous pace and goes on. So 4 in front, down on towards the far side. 1 Champagne Amy now in a good position in second. Then that's why 6 outside of 3 Upton Gunner. Past halfway, Name Tabzuki leads in front by 3 lengths. 3 in trouble, 1 in second. Now beginning to make some headway. Champagne Amy into the straight they go. 4 still by length. 1's flashing home. Champagne Amy on the far side. Champagne Amy coming through to join 4 Name Tabzuki, and they are clear.
They were very clear indeed, and very, very close. I've just favoured 1 in real time, but we will leave it to the judge. And sort of for 375 metres, Hobbs, it was plain sailing for Name Tabzuki.
It was plain sailing to a certain extent, and for much of the race, the Name Tabzuki got to the front for Katie O'Flaherty, but Gemma Davidson's Champagne Amy, as our VT crew, extensive staff membership out the back, have put you on Champagne Amy. Have they put you on the winner? I have to say, off the last bend, it looked as if that was the case. Name Tabzuki done so much good work up to now, but here comes the red. Is there another winner for the red in the Trap Challenge?
Very, very close. Close to third as well. We are still waiting for confirmation there, so as and when we get it, we will relay that information to you. In real time, it did look as if Champagne Amy had popped up there and nabbed Name Tabzuki close home. While we're waiting for that result to come in, we've got another member of staff up north of the border at Shawfield covering the action for us, and that is Jason Barrisford.
Very pleased to say winning the Racing Post Greyhound TV 500 final. Neil Black, well done, Neil.
Thank you very much, thank you.
And you do everything, don't you? You own, you train, you breed.
Oh, it's all out the one pocket. There's no big checks coming from at the end of the day. We'll have to foot the bill ourselves, but I've got a small kennel and we work away with pups. We don't deal with race dogs, we work away with pups. This boy we took at 12 weeks old, and as I said to Jonathan earlier, we flung him in at the deep end because of the lack of schooling facilities in Scotland. We're desperately needing another track in Scotland to school dogs, so get them big boys told. Come on.
Here to that. Were you at all worried when Gazilli Shea loomed large?
No, really, knowing that going. If it had been the same going as last week, I would have been panicking a wee bit, but at the top of the going for him, it was absolutely perfect.
You were absolutely perfect, Neil, but if you don't mind, there's somebody else that I'd rather speak to at this moment because she's far more prettier than you are, and it's Sophie. Hello, Sophie.
Hi.
How proud are you of Neil?
I'm really proud.
And he's your uncle?
Yeah.
And you're here with Dad, another uncle as well?
Yeah.
Papa.
Oh, that's Papa over there. Yeah.
And that's Uncle, yeah.
And do you like the greyhound racing?
Yes.
And you like Guildford Banjo?
Yeah.
And you're not going to let anybody else have that prize, are you?
No.
Quite right, Sophie. It's been a pleasure talking to you. A wonderful performance there by Guildford Banjo from Neil, but most of all from Sophie.
Lovely stuff. Top work from Jason. He is our man on the scene there tonight at Shawfield as we build up to the big final, the Rpgtv Scottish Derby final, which is fast approaching. They're on parade here for the 9:35. Just had the last race at Crayford there, the 9:27. You can see it across the bottom of the screen. It was indeed Champagne Amy doing the business. A 1-4-2. Now then, Hobbsy, this is the appetiser to our big race. Race number 9. Our big final is race number 10. But who's going to win the 9:35?
I'm going to go with Toolmaker Smooth. 2-1 out to 5-2. Great draw against the fence, and I think after the parade we've got a chance to see Toolmaker Smooth, who ran pretty well last week in handicap company, came through very, very strongly. Previously had finished third in an A2, just been checked out there. On that occasion was slow away and did find trouble out of the blue jacket. Maybe the red jacket tonight will be the difference between success and a defeat for Toolmaker Smooth. Well, hopefully so if you're on the red jacket. He's nibbled back in a 9-4.
5-2, far too big for the punters in the ring as they're being checked over there. Clara Black Cat, who's got good early speed, will be edging in on the run-up though, the white jackets. And I'm going to be with 6 here. 2 and Fetmore met last time out, same boxes. Slow starter in 3 on that occasion, enabled 4 to come across, so you see on parade there. Both 3 and 4 edging across here, but I think 3 might just hold up 4 coming over, and there could be a bit of crowding down the centre, and be looking for the stronger types, and their bookends here, Toolmaker Smooth and Ballykean Bob. Right, let's have a look at one of them then in this race. Let's have a look at Toolmaker Smooth, Hobbsy's selection here back on the 31st of March, finishing 3rd in the blue jacket of Trap 2.
The team Hislop, running out of Trap 1. Willie Hislop, well done Dave, you're on first name-tastic terms with these Shawfield trainers, and Toolmaker Smooth comes through in good style on this occasion. On the 31st, in fact, finishes 3rd behind Mill Street Jack, but shows good work late on, and we'll be looking, I hope, to go a couple better tonight. You could see making good ground there on the inside. Toolmaker Smooth, better draw this evening. Yeah,
I can just see the fronties, as it were, the early pace sorts, which are drawn down the middle here in 3 and 4, coming together because 3 will be looking for the inside. 4 wants to be very, very tight to the fence from what I've seen at that first bend. And they might just get in each other's way. There's every chance of that. So, I'll be looking at 1 or 6. 1's very, very strong on Betfair, or was. 2.98. I think it's in at 7-4 now. From 5-2. So the punters like the red. I'd be probably playing 1 and 6 reverse, but just at the prices. I'll take you on, Hobbsy, with the stripes.
You do that, not a problem. Glenn Finch has been on. Glenn and Elaine. Nice to hear from you guys. It says we emailed you last week, and you kindly read out our email regarding our Jim Daly Syndicate dog dashing today. As mentioned, he's our first venture into Greyhound Syndicate ownership, and he ran for the first time since we bought shares in him earlier today at Crayford in an A3 contest, and one going away from the field. Oi, oi! A great feeling watching your greyhound flying past the post first, and hopefully it will happen many more times. Well done, Dash. And that's from Glenn and Elaine. Another top email. If I had a prize for that, you'd be joint favourite at the moment.
Good stuff. Do keep your emails and tweets coming in. At RP Grounds is the Twitter handle. RPGTV at racingpost.com. This show is obviously all about you guys sitting at home. Do get in touch with us. What do you want? What do you fancy? What do you fancy in our big final? Perhaps you fancy something in the races after both Crayford and Shawfield. Still plenty of betting opportunities. The punters still looking to come for this Toolmaker Smooth. Hobbsy tips it up to you with a big price. I think it was 9-4 at the time.
Jason and JK is there. You could spot him there. Look, there you go. He's got his Rpgtv jacket. And Jason there as well.
And they're surrounded by security guards.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. You're not surprised.
Is that to keep Jason away from the public or to protect him from them? I think it might be just to keep Jason...
JK's had to leave his prawn cocktail.
Dear Hobbsy. Behave yourself, Hobbsy. Right, here we go. Droopy's Midget Studs A2, race 9 on the card here. Bunny on the spin. Off Firm Racing and 3 edging across 4 showing good speed. 1 on the premises very early on here. Toolmaker Smooth, but running off at the corner. 3's bowled over Clara Backcat, and the black jacket has gone on now on track 4. Blazing a trail, but your strong runner in the red jacket has turned in a menacing pitch here, and 4 with 1 setting his sights. Toolmaker Smooth, your favourite, is hunting up this leader now as they turn for home. There's a length between it, maybe half a length now, switching to the inside. The favourite, the gamble could be landed here. 2 finishing with a rattle, but 1 I fancy may have just got there potentially. A 1-2-4 and gamble landed. We'll look to see just how track 3 is as well. Did take a bit of a fall there, Clara Backcat at the corner. I'm hearing did make it to the drop, thankfully. Looks as if 1's beaten 2. Another winner for yourself there, Hobbsy.
Yeah.
We'll leave it to the judge, but I fancy 1's got there.
Well done, Willie Hislop, because Toolmaker Smooth has run a cracker here, and I think value for a more comfortable success. Now, that's not to say that Boda and Carolina has not run a storm, because it certainly has for the Rutherford camp in behind, but all sorts of problems for track 1 there as 4 cut across the red at the bend, and had to sort of check outside, did track 1 Toolmaker Smooth. Still had a lot of work to do down the far side, but did come through in good style in the end. A 4th win now in 13.
Good shout, Hobbsy. Hobbsy did give that to you about 9-4 chance. It was 6-4 last show, so hopefully you did latch on. Had a big price there. The red jacket, good value for that win there, because 1 finding trouble at the corner. You can see 3 out the back there, thankfully did complete get up. Will be checked, of course. There is always a vet on site to check the runners before and after each race. And there it is, track 1 beating 2 and 4 back in 3rd. Let's have a little look at the trap challenge as well. You can see there the red jacket, Hobbsy, fist pump as well there. He's banging in the winners, and he guided you to the red jacket as well. Right, that was race 9 at Shawfield this evening. Race 10, the 9.53, is a small matter of the £20,000 Scottish Derby final. Of course, sponsored by ourselves, Rpgtv. And let's have a look at the runners then. 6 runners we've got. We'll show you after the semi-finals. We'll see Borna Account doing the business here at a big price, Hobbsy. Bookends here. Borna Account doing the business 10-1, beating Drop Zone at 6-1. Of course, King Turbo, your 2's on favourite, bombing out.
Yeah, it showed good pace, and it's King Turbo, but yeah, crashes out as such, and it's Borna Account running for Pat Buckley, who wins from Drop Zone, who I think runs a big race for the Beverley Connection, and Elaine Parker was to be the first of 2 finalists for the Sheffield handler. They'll be delighted, and no doubt the Sheffield massive cheering on Drop Zone tonight. Certainly the Beverley Connection will be, in plenty of early dash, but couldn't get past Borna Account, who ran very well for owner Peter Sutcliffe and trainer Pat Buckley, of course, Scottish Derby winning trainer in the past, 2009 Capricorn.
Good stuff. You can see the betting there for the 9.45 at Crayford. We'll be recording that as we build up to our big race, and we'll show that as live after the Scottish Derby final. Right, let's have a little look at the second semi-final then. Joint fabs we had here. Bruiser's Bullet 7-4 in the blue jacket. The other reg 7-4 in 5, and it was going to be the other reg qualifying. But behind, DeRota's Vic, who swooped late, Hobbsy, for that man Charlie Lister.
It's all about the outside traps here. Bomber's Bullet's actually won an English Derby Trial Stakes at Toaster tonight, running out of red. But look at 5 and 6. We're going to concentrate on DeRota's Vic running out of 6, and the other reg running out of trap 5. Pat Rosney's dog cut a dash, led Charlie Lister's dog down the far side. DeRota's Vic, though, had to really, well, he was put under pressure, but he came through in flying colours. He went clear of the rest, and what this has set up, Clark, is the fact that a brother of last year's champion, DeRota's Woohoo, has got a chance of winning the Scottish Derby. And I think, as Daniel Rankin said, racing manager, has that ever been done before, Litter Brothers? In consecutive years, probably not. And great effort. Charlie Lister, 7 Scottish Derby successes already. Fair play to the other Reg though, with that early pace.
Yeah, he's a big chance.
Pressure on them all.
Big chance, big fancy for Jonathan Kay in today's Racing Post, of course, and there was plenty of money flying around for that one. Let's have a look at the third semi-final then. It was Calico Ranger, who's his 7 and 4th bag, but we've gone from outside boxes to inside boxes because it was Black Farron for Mark Wallace, the Irish Derby runner-up, doing the business in the red jacket. Keep your eyes on Lightfoot King. It was an eye-catcher, finishing second from trap 2.
Yep, absolutely, and the traps are reversed tonight, so will that make a difference? You can see that 2 didn't really come away that well. But then the 2 just did look for the fence at that first bend, and trap 1, Black Farron, kept a reasonably straight line. He's going to need to do that tonight if he's going to escape the attentions of Lightfoot King. Lightfoot King rallies and runs a good race in defeat, in second behind Mark Wallace's Star, who's running for the Lionheart Syndicate, and as we've remarked throughout the night, ran second in the Irish Derby last year. Can he go one better now in the Scottish Derby?
Can he indeed? So the inside box is there, having it in the third semi-final. £20,000 up for grabs. Obviously, just set the scene a little bit for us. I mean, this is a big race in the ground, Canada, the first of the so-called Triple Crown.
Yeah, it is exactly that. It's the first of the Triple Crown. Back in the day, it was the Scottish and the English and the Welsh derbies in the modern era. The Welsh derby no longer with us as such. It's now the Irish Derby. And it's the first leg of the Triple Crown. I think the romantics out there, you look at the Scottish Derby lineup and you think, these are sort of grounds you're going to see at Toaster. I think 1 or 2 of them we will certainly see at Toaster in the latter rounds. But I think the guys, I think we can hear from Jason, who's at Shawfield tonight, in the throng of it.
The anticipation is building. We're not that far away from the Rpgtv Scottish Derby final. It's not that far away. The crowd has been absolutely magnificent here. Quickly, sirs, who's going to win the final?
Number 1.
Number 1, you're going Lightfoot King?
Never. No, other rage, number 4.
The other edge, number 4 for you. But people have been asking, where is... Thank you. Where is my Gilly? Here is my Gilly. JK, you've been absent.
I've been absent. I've been looking after you, though. We've done quite well, haven't we? I think this is the most open Scottish Derby final I can remember in years. Really, I think every single greyhound can win it. I, like yourself, have gone with the other edge. I just think last week he ran ever so well. That third bend, he didn't drive it as well as the others. But look, all 6 greyhounds can win. What more can you ask for in a final?
Exactly. Well, I think we can ask for an informed opinion. There's a nice lady here. Who's going to win it?
Bonner account, trap 3.
Bonner account, trap 3, sir.
Same again.
Same again, Bonner account for you.
Trap 4, the other Reg.
The other Reg for you, and you're even wearing black.
Yeah. Trap 6.
Trap 6 for you, Dorothy's Vic, and JK, Dorothy's Vic. Perfect pitch, possibly on the outside, looking to emulate brother last year, Woohoo.
And how good would that be? Because obviously going into it, Dorota's Woohoo had to get withdrawn, cut a pad, of course, just before the competition started. And the dog's done nothing wrong in the competition. As Charlie Lister said himself, he's probably running the 2 hardest races he's come through. My worry with him is that Drop Zone in 5 is coming forward, and we know what a fast start he's got in him. Will he clear this time? I don't know.
We'll have to wait and see. Come on, who's going to win it? Who's going to win the big one?
Lightfoot!
Dorothy's Vic?
Lightfoot!
Sir, will you make up your mind?
Number 6.
Vic for you as well, sir.
One's got the draw.
Lightfoot King.
Number 4's got it made.
And the other, we could just see how open I haven't actually heard too many people tipping up Black Farron, trained by the champ, second in the Irish Derby.
No, and of course coming into it, probably seen as Mark Wallace as probably lesser light, but has really come to life in it. And what more, second in the Irish Derby, and he's just really taken to it. He's obviously a dog who loves competitions, and you have to say, last week he won on merit, but draw being reversed, will that see a reversible form?
Get some more opinions here, madam. Could I ask you who's going to win the Scottish Derby final?
Oh, I don't know. I've not looked at the back.
You should get a job for the Racing Post. But best of luck in your
I just go with numbers.
What do you think we do? Sirs, could I ask you who's going to win the big one? Who's going to win the final?
Lightfoot King.
Lightfoot King, trap 1. Trap 4, the other Reg over there. Anybody else?
Trap 1.
Lightfoot King for you. King.
Trap 1, mate, Musa.
Thank you very much, Lightfoot King. Well, you can see the crowd is absolutely fantastic here.
I've not seen a crowd like this here for years. It's brilliant, absolutely fantastic.
It really is. People are having a good time. This lady's having a good time. Could I ask you, madam, who's going to win the final?
I'm not too sure. Hopefully number 4.
Number 4, the other edge, you know.
Number 1.
Number 1, Light for King. Lots for Light for King, lot for the other edge. One account with her drop zones, definitely not out of this either, though, JK. It really is that open.
Drop zone, I think, could be the key to the race, because the drop zone that we know from the back end of last year, you know, he's pinging out, he's getting to the front. Is he going to be a problem for De Roter's Vic? But much more than that, is he going to be a greyhound who actually can come forward and win that race properly, you know? So, I mean, the crowd are obviously really getting into it now. The betting ring is going to be a complete and utter jungle.
It certainly is. The question is, who has to lead to win? Who can back run something else in this field?
Well, we saw last week that De Roter's Vic was able to back run and come through and beat the other edge, but that was mainly driving the third bend. I think, like most Scottish derbies, this will probably be won round the first bend. That run to the first bend is going to be absolutely and utterly crucial.
And also, not unusually, but there's a lot of greyhounds who are continuing to improve throughout the competition for various reasons.
Well, look, it's a little bit earlier this year than it was last year. So a lot of greyhounds are coming back from their winter rest, and you know, Drop Zone's had a couple of setbacks, but wow, he's a greyhound going forward. Like, but King's a greyhound going forward. You know, it's a fantastic look at the betting ring. It's absolutely buzzing.
It really is. Just turn around the camera. This is the betting ring here. Lots of different. I hope that gentleman's going with a black baron there. We'd have to say we do apologise if you have heard any unsavoury language. Obviously, emotions are running high here, but we'll try and get some more opinions from people. Sir, could I ask you who you're going to back?
Trap 5.
Trap 5. You're with Drop Zone. Drop Zone, best of luck there. Sir, could I ask you who you're going to back in the big one, the final? 1 for you. It's another Lightfoot King fan there. And we really are entering the scrum here. These are scenes that we don't see so often these days. The other edge for you, sir?
1 in 4.
The other edge?
6 for me.
And a De Roter's Vic fan there as well, sir. Black Baron for you? Black Baron. So there you go, differing opinions. I think we've heard pretty much every greyhound be mentioned there, and it's now going to be back to the studio with Dave and Hobbsy, but we just got to have a look at the scrum once more. The bets are absolutely flooding on, the prices are up there, you can see, and joint jollies, Reg and Vic, joint jollies each at 2 to 1. So those are the odds at the moment. They're not giving too much away if Drewsbury told their Bonner account. I can see a touch of 8 to 1, 4 to 1 Light for King, who's been very, very popular as well. Black Baron's available at 5 to 1. And Drop Zone, you can see 8 to 1 Drop Zone. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. And you can see everybody is very, very excited. I hope this is coming across. I'm sure it is. And once again, we would like to apologise if you've heard any unsavoury language, but it is time to go back to the studio.
Well, it would be, but look what's going on. They're putting a price up, and I do hope that no one picked that language up, obviously. But look there, Trap 1 now already drifting. It was the subject of market support during the course of the day, and that's amazing to see. I mean, I think it was backed into 7 to 2, but 4 out of 5 with William King Jr. there. Look, they're all getting in there, all good stuff. Where is the money going, Jason?
Better known as Billy, and probably the money's going to Billy, if truth be told. He does tend to do very well on that account. Mind yourself, sir. You don't want to be tripping up. People are tripping up over the microphone here. So keen they are to get a bet on. But definitively, JK, come on, how are you seeing it?
Well, who's going to go off favourite? It's very tight now between the other edge, isn't it, in Trap 4, and De Roter's in 6. Listening to the Vox Pop there was a lot of support, wasn't there, for the other edge in 4?
I think they are. Trap 6 obviously traditionally done well, certainly over recent years as well. Here's a gentleman who's going to win it.
Yeah, Trap 1.
Trap 1 for you, you're a Lightfoot King fan.
Trap 6.
Trap 6 Dorothy's Vic there.
Trap 6.
Trap 6 Dorothy's Vic as well. And another Dorothy's Vic fan, we can say. Right, come on everybody, make some noise, back to the studio!
Well done, Jason. Not easy to do that, and he's done a fantastic job there, giving us a real feel of that betting jungle in Shawfield. Lively stuff there. Plenty of bets being struck there at the boards. Big prices up, being snapped up, as you can see. Bonner account 10s, 8, 7, 6. Hobbsy and lively ring.
Very lively, not for the faint-hearted, and well done to Jason there. But what a fantastic place to be. If you could be anywhere, you just want to be in the betting ring at Shawfield tonight. Absolute buzz, and you could see that trap one's just gone past there. Lightfoot King, trained by Elaine Parker. And the first of two of Elaine's runners there. Trap 2, Black Farron going past for Mark Wallace, looking to go one better than at Shelbourne Park in September. Trap 3 for birthday boy Pat Buckley, led up by his son Jack Buckley. That's Borna account. Pat Rosney leading up the other Reg, who has certainly come in for plenty of support and looks set now to go off favourite. Trap 5 is Drop Zone, led by Sean Parker, son of trainer Elaine Parker, for the Beverley connection. And Dorothers Vic for Charlie Lister. Ian Sutherland doing the honours, as he has done on so many occasions on Scottish Derby final night.
Great stuff there. What a final we've got here. We've got a Puppy Derby finalist in the red jacket, an Irish Derby runner-up in 2. Pat Buckley's talented baller account, who is very much the gamble of the race here. 10's almost half an in price now, 6.8 on Betfair. Bullner account is half an in price, 10's all the way into 5's. The other edge, of course, the Rpgtv Laurels winner back at December up at Newcastle. Blazing a trail, claiming the scalp of Droopy's expert there. Northern Flat champion. Of course, Drop Zone for Elaine Parker. And of course, still City runner-up in behind Timwell Baz. And Dorothers Vic, who was oh so impressive, winning his semi-final last week when picking up the other Reg. For that man, Charlie Lister, the legend of the game, chasing an 8th Scottish Derby final. £20,000 is up for grabs now. They're on parade.
Always like to give the owners a big shout. Mr. Yates is, have we got the first name? Eric, is it Eric, I think? Possibly is in the RP. The Lionheart Syndicate, of course, owning Black Farron. Their big team of owners, of course, led by Mark Wallace and Paul Iframson. Peter Sutcliffe for Borna account. The Jones family, the other Reg. The Beverley Connection, Drop Zone, and it's Paul Brown, Tony Clark, Jamie Naylor and Luke Thornley, Dorothers Vic.
Come on then, Hobbsy. They're a million now behind the boxes. Who's going to win it?
Well, look, I've gone with Black Farron. I'm going to stick with the 2. I think he's got to break. I think he can break, but big respect to them all. And so many of these have won Scottish Derbies in terms of connections of 4 of these runners. Elaine Parker and Mark Wallace looking for their first Derby successes. But of course, Pat Buckley, Pat Rosney and Charlie Lister have been there and done it before.
Red for me, Lightfoot King, big price here up on the inside. Puppy Derby final, just think's got a good draw. We saw that ferocious back straight pace last week in behind Black Farron. The boxes are switched, that could prove the key. How will Bullner account fare here for Pat Buckley? Gamble of the race, 10's into 5's. Money for Dorothers Vic, but almost 3-1 on Betfair, 6-4 on track. So the Shawfield punters have got stuck into the tried and trusted system of Charlie Lister in a Scottish Derby final. 9-4 into 6-4. Jonathan Hobbs is going to give us the call now. They're all locked away.
Where's Errol Blythe and Darryl Williams when you need them? Well, let's go. This is the 2018 Racing Post Greyhound TV Scottish Derby final. The flag has been waved and we expect to hear a very loud and vociferous Shawfield roar as the hare approaches the traps. And away, it's a good start from Trap 5. Drop Zone is looking to lead into the first bend, being chased by Trap 4, the other edge, and it's 4 that goes on for Pat Rosney, being led down the far side by Trap 5, who's looking to challenge on the outside, but it's 4 the other edge for Pat Rosney, leads Elaine Parker's Drop Zone. In behind, you can see Borna account making a big run for Pat Buckley, but off the last bend, it's a titanic finish of the Scottish Derby, but it's the other edge hanging tough. It's another Scottish Derby success for Pat Rosney. Swift Hoffman did the business for him a few years back. Now it's the other Reg running out of Trap 4 for the Jones family. Pat wins the 2018 Rpgtv Scottish Derby, £20,000 to the winner. He's had a fantastic campaign. Well done to Pat. Well done to the other Reg. He's done it brilliantly. Fair play to Drop Zone. Run a stormer.
He did indeed. Well done to Pat Rosney's The Other
Great stuff. You can see Julie Bateson there, of course, moonlighting there, getting the greyhound, the other reg, passing it back to Pat Rosney there, which a great effort. Well done to Pat and all concerned. And I thought Swift Hoffman was brilliant for him a few years back, different sort of greyhound. I think we can get a chance shortly to hear from Pat Rosney. We've got a chance now to see it all over again and we can take breath.
Yeah, terrific call as well from yourself there, Hobbsy. 9.53 at Shawfield, and all about the early speed of the other reg here. We saw him blaze a trail up at Newcastle to win the Rpgtv Laurels back in December, and he's done the business again. Crucially, Hobbsy got a cross-border account and got up the inside of drop zone.
Yeah, it certainly did, and I think that was a great run. Drop Zone has run an absolute stormer. I think Elaine Parker can be absolutely proud of the performance of Drop Zone, who broke well. But the other reg, the money did steadily come. I mean, you know, Dorota's Vic was the morning favourite, but the other reg, selected by JK in the Racing Post, he expected a big run from Pat Rosney's greyhound, and the other reg has kicked on in great style. In behind any hard luck stories were Black Farron and Lightfoot King came together. 2 was not foot perfect at the boxes, always playing catch up. Likewise, Dorota's Vic and Trap 1 staying on well, Lightfoot King. But we can see the reaction of those closest to the other reg shortly.
The Rpgtv Scottish Derby won once again by Pat Rosney. Brilliant run by Drop Zone there in second position, being congratulated by everyone as you would expect. There's the winner, the other reg, an exhilarating victory. I don't want to get in the way of anyone else. Well done, Jack. Good run. But Pat, you've done it with the Hoff. Now you've done it with the other reg.
Yeah, it was tarmac. Close going to that first bend, you know, but once again his determination and his bravery, you know, to hold his ground, crucial, you know, and fantastic.
Well, I spoke to you beforehand and you wrote about his guts. He needed those. He's got ability. He needed those guts today.
He did, and he brought them with him as well.
And you were watching, rightly proud of a race you've done very well. His love affair with Shawfield won the puppy event, of course, last year as well. And Pat, I can see the pride. And when you won the first round as well, it was tough for you. You were interviewed straight afterwards, and you could tell your thoughts with Kula Fanny Mason straight away. You showed class there, and you're going to show class in victory here as ever.
Thank you, appreciate that.
A lot of people always say you're a trainer's trainer. They wish they could handle a dog as well as you do, and you prove it time and time again. But this boy, he is a bit special.
He is. You know, he's been a fantastic greyhound for us. Never let us down. Gives his all, wants to please. A bit like the Hoff, he wants to please you, you know.
He's won the Laurels, he's now on the Rpgtv Scottish Derby. Dare I ask where he's going to go next? Not that this isn't enough.
Yeah. I think you can work that one out, I think.
Yeah. And just look at the crowd, Pat. I walked through earlier. The other reg's name came up more than anyone else. But look at the crowd. So popular. So very, very popular. I'll just go and have a quick word with the crowd here. Who backed the other reg? Who backed the other reg? Yeah. You get on the other reg. Just being shown. JK, I'll get some reaction off you.
I mean, look, it's almost traditional now. Fantastic. Go over, you know. He was a bit spooked by the bagpipes, wasn't he, to start, but he shouldn't be. He had them last year, didn't he? We know that's fantastic. This is why the Scottish Derby at Shawfield is one of the great greyhound occasions of the year. There's Steve Nash delaying proceedings by getting a picture, as per usual. A bit late on parade, he showed a bit of pace there. But wasn't that gutsy? You know, we saw that. He had to really dig all the way, didn't he?
Tremendously so. And you've got to talk about every greyhound in the race. Drop Zone ran an absolute corker.
An absolute corker, wasn't it? You know, Shawfield is a really good gallop, but trapping is vital. And there's no surprise that the greyhounds who got out really showed that early pace, got to the bend, are the greyhounds who dominated in it.
Absolutely. And where we can see Pat and the other reg, and coming to connections now, and you can just see the applause ringing out here for Pat, and happy, very emotional connections, as you would expect as well, for the other reg. Supremely popular, and the crowd still applauding as Pat goes round with the other reg here. And there's some very, you've got to think of Mark and Mick in this situation as well, the owners, the Joneses, and where you can just see the emotion on offer there, being congratulated, the other Reg, Pat, as well. And fully deserved victory.
Lovely stuff. Mark and Mick Jones there as well. The owners of the other Reg caught up with those guys up at Newcastle when he won the Laurels. We'll get more reaction from there. A few prices flying in for the other Reg for the Star Sports Derby. Sponsors Star Sports 66 to 1 about the other Reg, and Ladbrokes are 50. So do keep your eyes peeled. Still some big prices out there for the other Reg, who has won the Rpgtv Scottish Derby for Pat Rosney, who won it back in 2015 with Swift Hoffman, and he's now done the business again with the other Reg off the front. We will show you the 9:45, which has been recorded. We'll show you that as live after this race. We don't know the results, so we're in the same boat as you, but we do have the 10:02 at Crayford, this 6-bend S2 grade here, Hobbsy, and who do you like?
I'm going to go with track 4, Droopy's Andy's 9 to 4 and a 7 to 4. Plenty of money for Jim Daly's greyhound, who was just touched off in S1 last time by Ballybee Charlie. That's absolutely no disgrace. So maybe this downgrade's something of a bonus for Droopy's Andy's. Always got to do it from the boxes, but if doing that might just get away, and you know, maybe there's not that much pace on its outside tonight. So 4 for me. Just going back to what Pat has achieved. I think fantastic 2015. Was Swift Hoffman, and went on to be Greyhound of the Year, and we talk about that kind of triple crown effect, and there's no question that dog is a player. He's a player in the English Derby at Toaster.
He ran okay at Toaster last year. I remember him showing that big early dash. Long run to the corner as well at Toaster from the 500-metre boxes. I like Freaky Bug here in trap 2. Looks a lovely type. I think going the right way. Was very impressive last time up. Is up in grade, but has taken very well to this 6 bends at Crayford, and could be a handful here. Droopy's Andy's is your favourite, 9 to 4, 2 to 1, 7 to 4 now. Joint favs with Droopy's Mel up on the outside. 6 your favourite on Betfair. Here's Darryl Williams with the call.
And the hare is on the move then. Hare's running for race number 10, S2, 6 bends. And racing, and off they go. Level enough start. 6 Droopy's Mill tries to break the line. Through the middle, Droopy's Hand is 4. Now in a good position as they go to the corner. 3 just had to take a step back. Aegean Delight at the second turn now. Deep is Droopy's Mill. Just about got round the bend. 4 Droopy's Hand is now edging on the far side. Then Aegean Delight next in 3. They run down the back the last time. Droopy's Hand is trying to quicken on. Leads by a couple. Droopy's Mel to the outside of Aegean Delight, then in behind those 5 Cash and Serengeti at the home bend. Droopy's Andy's has fought off the challengers thus far. Still leads by a length here for Jim Daly, turning in from Aegean Delight on the far side, who's challenging. They go towards the line. 1 coming home really well. Good to go Honeygull, but 4's just about held on. 4 Droopy's Andy's, 1 good to go Honeygull.
Well, yet another winner for Jonathan Hobbs in the studio here. He was hoping for a fast start, Droopy's Andy. We got that from Droopy's Andy's. Droopy's Mel out wide, who, not sure whether clipped the rail, slipped out the second bend, Hobbsy, but definitely gave 4 a chance to boot clear.
Yeah, it did. Droopy's Andy has taken his chance very well for Jim Daly, the Jim Daly Racing Syndicate. They'll be thrilled. And 6 did run well, didn't it? Run wide, I should say, Droopy's Mel, and very close to the hair rail there, and trap 5 just sort of lost his footing slightly, and that's given the impetus back to trap 4. Good to go Honeygar for Charles Hirons, has run his usual, her usual solid race. Look where the 1 has come from, way off the pace, but it looks as if 4 has just held on.
Good stuff, and yet another winner from Hobbsy. Hopefully you're following him at home tonight and nicking a few quid, maybe playing up national winnings from the Grand National, or just having a good Saturday night. We've had the Scottish Derby won by the other Reg, who was tipped up by Jonathan Kay in today's Racing Post. And if you missed that, I'm sure we'll show that a little bit later on. But of course, we didn't show the 9:45 either, which we have recorded. We will be showing very shortly. But Hobbsy, for those that have missed it, the other Reg, ferocious early speed. What a performance.
Yeah, the early pace won the race for him in many ways, but it wasn't just about that. He had to be, resolute, because there was big pressure from drop zone going into that first bend. He's got great track craft. I think it was interesting really throughout the day. There was steady support for the other Reg, and maybe we spoke earlier about the faster going there. I think that's helped him, albeit he lost nothing in defeat behind Dorota's Vic last week, but he managed, I think, conditions suited the other edge better than they did last week. I think he took advantage of that and got away. Great success for Pat. I think Pat is one of the most respected trainers in the game of greyhound racing. Very popular man, and what a trainer he's proved to be in terms of these major successes now.
He doesn't have too many in the kennel, Pat, does he?
Small kennel. Great strike rate, and didn't have one though in the 9:45 at Crayford, of course. But if he had done, who knows?
Well, we did recall that. We promised you that we'd show it as live. We don't know what happened, so we're going to find out now. And Darryl Williams with the call.
Race away, good start, decisive south three down the centre, being pursued by Lily's Bar Valley 4 as they go around that first bend, and 6 out wide on the course. They make their way onto the far side. Decisive Sound in front, the favourite leads by 3 parts from Lily's Bar Valley 4 in second, then One Body Banu. So run down towards the home turn. Decisive Sound here trying to quicken on 4. Won't let it go just yet though. A length between them. Lily's Bar Valley in second, 3 swinging off. Still in front though, Decisive Sound, and will do more than enough. 3 beat 4. One's back in third, Bonnie Banu, 3-4-1.
A 3-4-1 there at Crayford, that 9:45. There's a result there. We promised you that we'd show that. Just a little bit of a build-up for the Scottish Derby, but we did show that for you. So you never miss any of the action here on Racing Post Greyhound TV. What a night it has been. We've got plenty of action still to come. We have had the Rpgtv Scottish Derby final. That was won by Pat Rosney's the other Reg in fine style from the black jacket, showing good early speed and doing the business. Right, any emails over there, Hobbsy? A bit early for any reaction to that Scottish Derby. Has anyone been in touch?
We just had one prior to that. We're talking about sort of previous Scottish winners, and Paul Tibbs said, guys, you forgot to mention Westmead Harry fell out of the traps and still smashed the track record. So not too long to go. I think we've got about 3 more races to go from Shawfield, but I think we've got a chance to go back to Shawfield shortly.
Yes, we've got a race coming up here, the race 11, the 10-10, and Jason is going to enlighten us.
Now, I'm very pleased to say that I'm joined here by Pat Kennedy. He's going to run it in the 11th race. Gartcloth Scotty, but not always known by that name.
No, his name was Droopy's Approve. Got to the semi-final of the Scottish Derby last year, and now I've got a prefix of Gartcloth, which is my kennels back at home. And all my dogs are now called Gartcloth, and he's Gartcloth Scotty.
And Gartcloth Scotty, he's been running in handicaps, hasn't he?
He's been running in handicaps, giving away big starts, and then at Shawfield, it's very difficult to win from the back of the handicap.
But it's an A2 tonight. Last 2 starts have been in A2, just been missing the up a bit?
He's been missing the break and getting himself a hell of a lot of work. If he could come out tonight, I would fancy him strongly. If he hits the lids tonight and a possibility of him leading, he'll not get caught. That's a certainty.
And what's he been showing at home?
He's bouncing on his toes, but as I say, the last 2 races have been levels, but up until then, he's running off the back, he's chasing dogs behind all the way around, he's not getting to see the hare.
And he's in trap 6 tonight, Toolmaker Metro on the immediate inside, another one not renowned for early pace. So if getting past 5 early, is that the key?
If we could get by Willie's dog out the traps, it would be a help to him. But there's another 4 in the race as well. But he's clever. If the dogs move off, he'll dive to the inside and go up the rail. So if he's a bit behind and there's an opening up the rail, he'll go up the rail.
Brilliant, Pat. Thanks very much. He's very clever, and he's also a very, very handsome man. Just like his trainer.
Oh, thank you very much. I've been told that before.
Great stuff from our man on the scene, Jason Barrisford. I'm sure we'll get more reaction from that big Scottish Derby final, which was won by the other Reg for Pat Rosney. Right, 10-10, Shawfield. We heard from the trainer, Pat Kennedy of Gartcloth Scotty. Ex-Droopy's Approved, but which one do you like yourself, Hobbsy?
I think that Toolmaker Metro might just be an eye-catching price, certainly on the Betfair market. Willie Hislop's dog is very rarely far away. Aero Majestic and Droopy's Muriel, and generally runs in handicaps, as most of the Shawfield graded strengths do. Doesn't like to be beaten that far. That might just suit. So I think overpriced there. At trap 5, Toolmaker Metro from me.
Well, Hobbsy is the man in form. He's been banging in the winners tonight. I'm going to be with the gamble.
Yeah.
Taxi
With the
Blue
two in the
Shirt.
Monarch Garage Stakes. Yeah, keep your emails coming in. Darren McPherson says, hi guys, absolutely fantastic job this show does. Day in and day out for greyhound lovers. Run dogs on the flats at Fife's top sporting arena, Thornton Greyhound Stadium. A few dogs I've had, Balliard Major, Boney Maloney, Woodview, Merson. Thanks, Darren McPherson. There you go, Darren. So, thank you very much for your note.
Nick Grubb's been back on. He's twice upped his offer for your crystal ball, Hobbsy. A bag of sand for £1,000. And then now he's up to for 2 pianos. Hobbsy is in fine form this evening, tipping the winners. He likes Toolmaker Metro here. 5 to 2 threes out the fours. Gamble of the race, Taxi Blue Shirt for Andrew Wood in the blue jacket. And they're off and racing, and a good start from 2. He's blazing a trail down the centre of the track, and the early speed of 2 takes him along. 5, Toolmaker Metro, those nipped up the inside of 3, moved off at the corner, gave 6 a whack, and 5 is in the slipstream of your leader, the gamble of the race, and your favourite, Taxi Blue Shirt. It's 2 from 5 at that third bend. 5 closing now, and Toolmaker Metro, who's giving chase as they turn for home. Only a length between them. 3 and 6 are staying on as well round the outside. 2 from 5, 6 down the outside, 1 on the inner, but 2's going to get there. Possibly 6 for second and 1 for third, but we will leave that to the judge. Gamble of the race, Taxi Blue Shirt, made all for Andrew Wood. A fast start from the blue jacket, Hobbsy, and they weren't for catching.
Good selection, old boy. Yeah, fantastic. Money was down for Taxi Blue Shirt and has made no mistakes. 5 was close enough, good enough, couldn't get there. 1 has run a big race, Droopy's Vermont on the inside, but the better early speed came for the blue named greyhound, Taxi Blue Shirt. Blue Shirt possibly be worn tomorrow in the big Scottish Cup clash, I would imagine, but Taxi Blue Shirt down the far side has this in safekeeping. I suppose just at this third bend, maybe backers of the blue just thought maybe trap 5's going to get to trap 2, but to be fair, probably challenged at the wrong point of the bend, and that was his run over with. 2 straightening up very, very well, and look where Red has come from, another parish, and almost got there.
Gamble very much landed there. 2's 7 to 4, 6 to 4 on last show. The pack were closing. May have been 1 for second. We'll leave that one to the judge. That was Taxi Blue Shirt doing the business in race 11 for Andrew Wood up at Shawfield there. And if you missed it, race 10, well, it was an absolute perler. It was, of course, our Rpgtv Scottish Derby final. £20,000 was up for grabs. And let's have another look at the big final then. The early speed came from 4 and 5, Hobbsy, but it was the black jacket of the other edge that crucially got up the inside at the corner.
Terrific speed shown by both the other edge and drop zone, and courtesy of that inside line, the 4 has kicked on down the far side, and Pat Rosney's set fair for second Scottish Derby success. Trap 5 though for Elaine Parker and the Beverley connection. Not stopping in behind, and he had to be resolute in front, but he's a big race winner after the Laurels last year, and as they straighten up for home, he really did have that race in safekeeping. Borner Account was on the premises as well.
Run well through. Did run
very well. I mean, 1 or 2 of them just got a little bit left at the start. I think the Black Farron and Lightfoot King, there was a coming together, which has been suggested as possibly would happen, and it did happen, but take nothing away from the 4 and 5. They were on fire.
Yeah, well done to Pat Rosney, and we're going to throw back to Jason, who called up with them on presentation.
Well, just coming again with the happy connections. Just had the presentation. Obviously, I've got to go to Pat once more here. Pat, you just look so proud.
Very proud. Delighted for these lads. The brilliant supporters of not just the game, but of our kennel. I can't think of anyone who deserves it more than them, you know. Well, I'm so delighted to have won it for them, you know.
You can just see it in your face. It's something. Well, I'll talk to Mark and Mick. I've got to get this right. Mick, I'm not going to take it off you. No, nobody can take it off you, Mick.
You'll have a job.
You must be so proud.
I'm over the moon. Bloody fantastic. Brilliant, only to Pat.
Mark, congratulations. Do you know what I really liked? When Pat came over, the first thing you did, I saw you plant a big smackaroonie, not on Pat, on the other end.
Oh, I think the world of him. Well, and Pat. And Julie.
Fantastic. Dream come true, this. Waiting all our lives for this.
When did you know he'd won it?
When he was coming past us, just coming around that fourth bend. I thought they're not going to get to him now.
And Pat's spoken about it, the guts, the determination, the speed,
He
everything.
hates anything going past him now. Last week when he come back at Vic. Fantastic. He didn't trap too good, did he? But yeah, I don't think he trapped that well, but he took the lead in the first bend, didn't he?
You two are pretty harsh. That was a fantastic performance.
Fantastic.
But you would agree.
I was right by the I wanted to go out in front, but he trapped me. Yeah, he was great. Fantastic. Dream come true. This is on his best night in our lives.
And you saw him last year. He won. He's been to the Laurels and won there. Run well in so many competitions. I was speaking to Pat about all the different tracks that he's won at as well. It's just a tremendous ride.
He's awesome, isn't he? Fantastic. Like, I don't know what to say about him. He's just everything we ever dreamed of in the ground.
The only trouble is I don't think you're going to see that trophy. Mick has got hold of it like a wrestler.
He loves the trophies. That's all we're in it for. That's the glory. Keep their money. We just want the trophies and the wins.
Well, he certainly is a beautiful boy. Congratulations. And making the presentation, we had Sam and Jamie from Labyrinths as well. Sam, you must have enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was a great privilege to be able to give them it, and they looked really excited about it.
A wonderful. Have you had a good night?
Yeah, it's been fantastic. A great night and a great opportunity.
Oh, well, do tell us if you see JK in the restaurant. And Jamie, again, such a wonderful performance.
Yeah, fantastic race. Great atmosphere at Shawfield. Ladbrokes are definitely lucky to sponsor this event.
Yeah, it's Ladbrokes, there's Sam and Jamie, but the real stars of the show are Pat, Mick, and Mark, but principally, and we've got to end on the shot of the absolute superstar that is the Other Edge.
Tremendous stuff from Jason. Big congratulations to those guys, and look at the Other Edge. What a picture, Hobbsy, as well. Beautiful brindle.
It's picture perfect, isn't it? Absolutely brilliant. And the raw emotion and just the reaction of Mick and Mark Jones, sensational. You just want to bottle that, and you tell everybody this is what the experience can be like. You know, and for Pat, it's brilliant. Yes, he's won a Scottish Derby before, but you could still see that it meant so much. And you know, we talk about Liverpool have had a fantastic week, haven't they? Just just moved back to Manchester in many ways. Of course, his kennels at Leyland. He served his apprenticeship behind for many years to Jimmy Gibson, the trainer, and of course with Manchester City taking that step closer to the Premier League title tonight. Yeah, just shifted slightly back towards Manchester tonight. So well done to all concerned. Well done to the Joneses. Well done to Pat, and well done to Julie and the crew there.
Good stuff. Great stuff. I do wonder if the camo jacket's a lucky one, because when I spoke to Mick up at Newcastle, he was wearing that jacket as well. So maybe a lucky one for the big race finals. That one there. Right, we've got a gamble here. Droopy San Diego, 5-2, 9-4 into twos. It's going to be, for me, dropping in class. I think DC's Oscar's better seen over the 540 and will be edging in from trap 4. So the coast is clear for 5.
I don't know what Jason, just as Jason was approaching Pat seemed to sort of be wiping his lips. I don't know whether there was, was it champagne in the trophy, or was it iron brew in the trophy? I don't know, but no, fantastic. You can see that they're going to have a pretty enjoyable night. Now, there's 10-19. I've gone with trap 1, famous Flossie, 4-5 out to even money. Probably one of the shortest shots we've had all night for Belinda Green, but did win well last week. It's only had the 3 races. If you're looking for a forecast, then I don't know, possibly Great Run is in great form at the moment. This is perhaps a trip short of her best, but she runs on well. 1 to beat 3.
1 to beat 3 for Hobbsy. Droopy San Diego for me out wide in trap 5. Good draw before edging in. The man on the mic up at Crayford for us is, of course, Darryl Williams.
Hair is on the way. Good luck with your choices. Here comes the hair. Racing and off they go. What a good start, Droopy San Diego. Stills a march early on 5 and has gone on by 3 lengths. Lord Kinsale in second. The favourite up on the inside, trap 1, but a long way behind famous Flossie. Indeed, only one behind it at halfway. Droopy San Diego for Dean Charles, leading by 3 still. Lord Kinsale is trying to make headway in second, then in behind, a long way back to Great Run. 5 wide at the bend, Droopy San Diego, but won this with a super break and scores well. 5 ahead of 2 in second, Lord Kinsale. Great Run 3 was third.
Yeah, definition of a smash break there from Droopy San Diego. Once upon a time was mucking it in sort of A1, A2 class, and a good draw here with kennelmate DC's Oscar. We've seen over the 540 more of late. Edging in, does favour a slightly better racing line towards the fence, the ZC's Oscar. You can see him boring into 3 there, Hobbsy, and 5 was away and gone.
Yeah, Famous Flossie was up with the traps. Droopy San Diego was out of the traps and gone. I mean, great effort from Dean Childs, his dog. Hopefully that's given him confidence. It's been a while since he last struck gold, Droopy San Diego, but certainly had been plying his trade in better grade generally. And the 5 has scooted clear of the rest. The favourite pretty much under pressure from the get-go.
OK, right, we've got a couple of tweets here. John Bones has been on late wire from Shawfield. 10:27, trap 6, Kilcoke Lane, off the front, all the way, be on. Oi, 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 it's coming up in our next race as well there. And a lot of love for Hobbsy as well on Twitter. Fine form this evening, banging in the winners. Another person, another member of our team, also in 5 form, is of course Jason Barrisford.
Now, I'm very pleased to say that I'm here with Scott Kennedy, but even more pleased, and I hope you don't mind me saying this, Scott, that I'm here with Shawfield as well.
Ah, no, that's fine, not a problem. He deserves it more than me.
You're going to help us out with the last couple of races. Shawfield actually goes in the last, in the penultimate. Pat Zan, lightly raced, didn't go unsupported last time.
No, she absolutely fell out the boxes last week. That was the top and bottom of it. You know, she had a wee chance, traps open, she forgot to come out. You know, she'd been pulled back in the handicap. She won her first race for me 2 weeks ago and then been pulled back in the handicap. So I think it had something to do with the fact that she missed it, you know. But these are the breaks. She's off safe, sound and ready to fight another night.
Is it always a good thing to perform so well in your first handicap?
No, and here it isn't, let me tell you. If you win your first race in here, that's you. It's been noted, put it that way.
but a fair chance tonight.
She's been put in a little bit hard, you know, because I've got the other dog in the race as well. I've got 2 in the race, you know, who's quite a good early pace and can stay on, Triangle Apache, you know, so it'll be interesting to see how she goes. You know, the first time that she's been in a really late race as well. You know, as I say, this is only her 3rd race for me. Usually when you come on the cards, your races are earlier. You know, so it's the first time she'll have to be kennelled in for a while, so it'll be interesting to see how she goes.
And Apache's running off scratch, and usually it's 5 runner races predominantly, is it?
Yeah, usually it's 5 runner races. You know, tonight obviously he's got the extra dog. He won a few weeks ago, ran well a few weeks ago. So we just need to keep our fingers crossed and see if we can get one of them to win.
OK, now we come on to Shawfield, who's very much enjoying life being a strokes there, who does go in the finale, receiving 3 from Trap 2.
Yeah, he's been a great dog for the kennel, absolutely fantastic dog for the kennel. A couple of years ago, he reached the final at the St Mungo Cup for me. He's won a couple of open races in here as well for me, you know, so he's been an absolute great dog for the kennel. Getting on a wee bit in years now, but aren't we all, you know, but still... a wee bit of an unlucky year with injuries, you know. This time last year he picked up an injury and he never really got over it for about 6 months, so he's just actually coming back to himself now, so fingers crossed we go well tonight.
Well, we wish him and you all the best, and I'm really sorry, I know a couple of weeks ago you spoke to JK and he was a bit of a bok, but better luck tonight.
Thanks, he was a Jonah, we'll see how we go.
Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great stuff, Jason, catching up with Scott Kennedy before racing there, and he's double-handed here, of course, and he's got a run in our last race as well. I really like the look of this Kulavani Perry. I thought ran a good race last week and really caught the eye, showing good speed, getting up the inside. Clearly wants the fence at the first bend, but did show good speed here. We'll need to get up the inside of 6, who's only 2 wins from 45 starts for Kilcoke Lane, who we did get a tweet in from. He's just 7-2 chance. We've got 2-1 favourite here, fence side Nidge for a Willie Hislop. What about yourself, Hobbsy?
I'll take you on with fence side Nidge. Plenty short enough in the market for Willie Hislop, but I thought she's a bitch in form. A daughter of Droopy's Nidge, who absolutely bolted home off 2 metres last time. So, hey, look, she's in good enough heart at the moment. Pretty solid in the market. 2 for me.
2 for Hobbsy, 3 for myself. I've got to say, one of his very, very best, Steve Nash, tonight. He's tweeted Steve Nash photos, is the Twitter handle. I've just retweeted it as well on the RP Greyhounds Twitter account. The other edge winning the Rpgtv Scottish Derby final at Shawfield for Pat Rosnianos, Mark and Mick Jones. tremendous picture from Steve there. 4 in splendid isolation crossing the line, arms aloft in the background from the crowd. Do check that one out. I'm sure we'll be using that in the Racing Post on Monday. But one of Steve's very best, that tremendous picture.
Now, talking about very best, well done to Barry Drake, because he does a lot of work, of course, for the Evening Echo, across the water, reports for Talking Dogs, etc. Real greyhound enthusiast, and puts pen to paper, and he's sent us an email. It says, the other Reg, great performance from the other Reg, not forgetting he started his career at Clonmel when winning by 15 lengths in 29.13. Absolutely, Barry would have reported on that at the time. Great show as always, lads, he says, the A-team in the studio. Well, we do our best. We didn't get the gig up north, but we left the prawn cocktails to JK, didn't we, Clarkie?
We did indeed. Good to hear from you, Barry. A good egg. A good egg is Barry. Good coverage of the sport. The other side of the Irish Sea. Hope you're well. Well, pretty quiet market here for this 10.27 at Shawfield. Is a handicap. Scratch runner, triangle, Apache. Out the back in the red jacket, 4-1 chance. Fence-side nidge for Hobbsy in the studio here, who's been in fine form, tipping plenty of winners.
Some man who
bottle 2-1 favourite.
A man who's in particularly fine form at the moment, I reckon, is Billy Brennan. He says, hope you're both well. He says, it's been a long day. I think it's a euphemism for, well, you know, a long, long day. It's certainly been a sporting bonanza. Says a session watching Chelsea, of course. That was at lunchtime, the Grand National and the bookmakers. He said, well done to all involved with the other Reg. Hats off to Pat Rosney. Yeah, he said, wasn't quite blue as the colour in terms of the Scottish Derby, but brilliant performance from the other Reg, and Pat Rosney had a good night. And you too, Billy. Great stamina.
Good lad, yeah. Long day, long day.
Absolutely, well done.
Stuck into. Lots of action tomorrow as well. Don't forget, you can join us 7 nights a week here on Rpgtv as they're being tucked away now. Hobbsy Selection 2's out to 9-4. Money coming for Kilcoke Lane. Chasing win number 3 in 45 starts. So due a win. The stripes off the front. I'm going to take it on with 3, and Hobbsy's with 2. But no one can surely begrudge Kilcoke Lane. The gamble of the race here in stripes off the front. Penultimate race up at Shawfield tonight. The starter is happy with them, and Hobbsy is going to call them home.
Thank you very much, Clarkie. This is the penultimate start at Shawfield tonight. One more race after this, and it's a handicap. And they're away. 6 moves, middle in the dash to the first bend, but it's handicap order. Certainly up front with 6, 5 and 4. One's making ground, triangle, Apache. But down the far side, it's Kilcoke Lane for the Sillers camp, leading as trap 5 looks to make ground. Going into that third bend, Rose's Tina Falls on the premises as well, which is Pat Sand. We've heard from Scott Kennedy, and Pat Sand's looking to challenge as 6 moves wide. Oh, here comes 1 up the inside, but it's 4 hanging tough in front. 4 wins. Close for second between 1 and 6. Pat Sand for Scott Kennedy, and Mr. Arnott wins the James Garside Decorator Stakes.
Good stuff, great stuff from Jason as well up at Shawfield, giving you the lowdown on Pat Sand in the black jacket. And Pat Sand doing the business there for our 10.27 up at Shawfield. Still can't quite get used to it, obviously 4, 5 and 6 off the front in the handicap. They do it different way. We don't know why. If anyone does know why, do let us know. But the black jacket doing the business.
Yeah, well done to the connections of Pat Sand, only having its 3rd start. This daughter of Ballymac Tip, who's winning for the 2nd time of asking. And well done to all concerned. We're getting all the congratulations from around the country, and we've had one from Carl Brazier. So after I think we've got a break coming up, I'll read that out. And Carl's got some great news as well about the Kent St Ledger later this year.
Good stuff. Terrific supporter of the game, owner and sponsor, Carl. Hope you're well, and Hobbsy will read that one out after the break. Welcome back to Rpgtv on this Saturday evening. 10.35 at Crayford is upon us. What a night we've had so far. Open race action from Shawfield north of the border. The highlight, of course, being the £20,000 Rpgtv Scottish Derby final, which was won by Pat Rosney's The Other Reg. We're in good company this evening. We've got Jonathan Hobbs with us, who's been banging in the winners, and hopefully is going to guide us to the winner of this 10:35 at Crayford.
Yeah, we're going to have a go, Clarkie. This is the lucky last at the Kent track. I'm going to go with Scarla Mags running out of trap at a 1, 2-1 into 6-4 for Alison Kelly Pilgrim. Just one win from 3 starts since moving or switching from Ireland to the UK, and dropped in class, and that might just make the difference for the Red Jackets.
Right, we're going to have a look at a little bit of action here. Back on the 7th of April, last time up, Droopy's Capel winning from Stripes. Also in the race, Mix Act, which was in trap 3 here, Hobbsy.
Capel, April the 7th, and showed good pace up to turn handy. He's going to wear down Snowden Hank in the shadow of the post. You can see trap 6 here for Tom Levers. And he's been a very progressive sort at the moment, from A5 up to A4 up to A3 as well as Droopy's Capel. So he's running well. It's a 5-2 chance at the moment. I'll take him on with the red.
Yeah, same. 2-1, 7-4, 6-4 now, 5-4. Scarla Mags. I really like the draw of this Scarla Mags. I think a few of these might just get to the corner at the same time, and the place to be at Crayford when that is the case is up on the rail at the corner. It's a sharp turn. I think Scarla Mags will have that benefit of being on the inside, turn left and do the business. So red for me also.
Frank Vella's been in touch. It's just querying the SP of the 909. I think a correction has been sent out. We believe that the SP could be 12-1. So looking to confirm that, but as far as I know, it's 12-1. Would that be right? Can you remember the race? Whether Bill?
We will look into that. We will look into that for you.
Frank, it's everywhere I've looked at seems to be showing 12-1, which is far better than 2s.
We will try and find out
12-1
for you.
12-1. So
there was an issue there indeed. Gamble going on here though. Scarla Mags on the inside. We've got 2 races left to come. We've got race 13 to come from Shawfield. This is race 12. If you have got involved in the trap challenge, there you can see on the screen, it's still in the balance. Trap challenge, trap 1 is in the box seat though with 6, 3 and 5, both and money. 1 behind, and trap 4 has got 2. So if you have backed trap 4 in the trap challenge, you'll need to win our last 2 races for a dead heat, but it's still doable.
Great stuff. Carl Brazier says, great show as always, and congratulations to Pat Rosney and the other Reg. I've had communications with Danny Raymond at Crayford this week. I'm sponsoring the Kent St Ledger again, which will be Category 1 this year, providing acceptance, and I persuaded them for it to be on a Saturday evening instead of Tuesday, so it can be seen on Rpgtv. Obviously, it must be ratified by the GBGB, but good news for the viewers, all the best, and of course big supporter of the game, especially at Crayford, and leading over Carl Brazier. Thank you very much for that, Carl. Good news.
J&K Coach Tours. If you fancy a little journey around the country, Carl is your man. Good stuff there, sponsoring that competition. Cat 1 as well, excellent, good stuff. 10:35 at Crayford for the final time. Our very own Darryl Williams.
The race away for the finale. 2 went up with the lids. Mix Act, 6 broke well. 1's trying to get a pitch. Scarla Mags up on the inside as they take the corner now. Then Scarla Mags nipping through to sit just in behind Droopy's Capel, who still leads those 6 are halfway. Then Madame Moo 4. This trio broken away. Down towards the home turn they go. Droopy's Capel. 1 is battling on the inside. Scarla Mags. They're ahead of 4. Madame Moo. Down the lane they come. Droopy's Capel still ahead as they go towards the line. Droopy's Capel saw off the favourite. Scarla Mags in second. Madame Moo was next.
Stripes, Droopy's Capel, yet another winner for the VT crew, foiling the gamble. All the way into even money was Scarla Mags, and didn't trap particularly well, certainly trapped better than 2, was up with the boxes, Hobbsy. Every chance really for the gamble.
Every chance. It was a good buckle, it was a good battle, I think, for the winning line, wasn't it? Scarla Mags did her level best, still pretty inexperienced. They came together, didn't they, Scarla Mags and Droopy's Capel, but it was a good, honest battle between 2 very, very good bitches, and ultimately it's Droopy's Capel, the much experienced, albeit the slighter, just weighing in at 26 kilos, who's proved too strong for Scala Mags going into bend 3. You could see Scala Mags at the inside, the red jacket backers, hopeful of a good run here. She's just drifting off with trap 6 there. Droopy's capable of straightening up for Holmes. 6 proving the stronger. 4's won a big race as well. Madam Moo in behind.
Good stuff. Tweet here from Pigeon Layer. Stephen Bradshaw, aka Koosh, is a good lad. Wahida top bit. She was on that. Good stuff. Weighed in there. Well done to him. Let's hear more from Jason.
That's a great meeting tonight. It doesn't matter what's gone on beforehand. We all like to have a winner in the last. And helping us find that is Ramsey Cumming. Hello, Ramsey.
Hiya.
Now, you're Kennel Hand 2 trainer Danny Beattie.
Yes.
But more importantly than that, who owns Ballyhell Neve?
The wife, Kim Cumming.
Kim Cumming. So you've got to do a good job tonight.
Well, it's a hard race, but we'll see.
Well, for receiving 6 in the handicap, not been with you that long?
No, I think about 7 to 8 weeks she's been in the kennel. She's just settling in, so we'll see.
And come from a good home, used to be with Wayne Writing at home?
Yes, we bought her off Keith Wright, my friend. So.
And what's her running style? I can see that when she first came to you, she was immediately put in 6-4 favourite. So was the money down then?
Not saying that. No, she's still not settled in yet. So it's a wait and see. She's never handicapped before coming to Shawfield. I think she was 8 round about there. So yeah, just need to wait and see.
So I suppose that is the thing. It is a culture shock, and it takes a couple of races to bed in.
Yeah, definitely. The dog's to adjust to the handicap racing.
And you've seen, obviously, looked at the greyhounds and their running studs. I think there's a bit of pace in some of the other traps tonight. Are you hoping can almost tuck in, come with a run at the end?
Well, possibly, yes. Like I said, it's a hard race. And we'll just need to see a clean run. Just see her.
Well, thanks for talking to us. We wish you all the best of luck, and hopefully you won't get in trouble with a wife.
Well, hopefully not. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Excellent stuff, and tremendous work from Jason tonight up at Shawfield. He's done a great job giving us all the views of those on the scene, giving us a real feel for the place on a big night up at Shawfield. So well done to Jason Barrisford, our man on the scene. Last race of the night, Hobbsy, last race at Shawfield. You're going to finish with a winner?
We'll have a go. I'm going to go with fence side Zara running for Willie Hislop, receiving 3 metres out of trap 3 in this handicap finale at Shawfield. It sounds, and it's been a fantastic night there. We saw the scenes in the betting ring in the preceding the Scottish Derby final. It was almost a bear pit. Fantastic, the money exchanging hands there. He couldn't get close to the books, could he, Jason? They were 6-7 deep there. Brilliant. Latest gossip runs out of the top of the handicap for the one chance. Fuel Flame running out of trap 2 for Scott Kennedy. Willie Hislop's got the 3. Danny Beattie in trap 4 with Ballyhell Neve. Graham Rankin with Wolfman Jack in trap 5. And Mrs. Sillers with Fahiran Rapper. The first name, you got Mrs. Sillers' name? Oh, Clarky, you let me down in a lucky last. But what I would tell you about Rapper in trap 6 is that it's his 100th race. So in the UK. So yeah, good luck to the connections off the front of the handicap 6. For me, trap 3 improving and bolted home last week on the rise. Only May 2016. Still a pup, not the youngest here. That's 5.
Okay, cheers, Hobbsy. 10:44, our last race tonight. The trap challenge is still in the balance. Trap 1 is your leader. Fending off both traps 3 and 5, who are just 1 behind. So this last race could prove the difference here, as they are on parade. 10:44 at Shawfield.
Thank you, El Marchio, for your tweet. Jason. Jason is funniest person on TV. Yeah, absolutely not wrong. He says, well done. He's enjoyed the show tonight. Marchio, thank you for your tweet.
Great stuff. Had some terrific action tonight. Clifford Banjo, of course, winning the 500 competition, £2,000 there. Good training performance for the locals. Up on the fence, a great draw there. Tipped by Hobbs at a big price as well. We've seen some tremendous youngsters in action as well. Greenwell Jean, Greenwell Jet, and Nguyen Jet as well. Keep an eye on those. Right, let's have a little look then. Now the parade is completed with 6 Faraheen Rapper at Wolfman Jack. Our last bit of VT this evening. This was last week when doing the business from Trap 4, Hobbsy.
Yes, it did, and this, as you say, last Saturday night, and obviously you got to an actual line of form with Wolfman Jack in 4, Faraheen Rapper in Trap 5. There wasn't ultimately a lot between them as well. Four's done a lot of running though in behind Wolfman Jack, and he had the 9 races, 3 wins on the card for Graham Rankin, and looks to have a bit of a chance here in the lucky last for Mr. Armstrong. And we'll try to make the most of that 8-end start.
Good stuff, right. I think they might have dug one out here at a bit of a price to send the, well, not send, they're already at home, the viewers, but finish the night with a big price. There we go, 10s on Betfair, Trap 2 for me here. I looked last week's racing, Latest Gossip and Fuel Fian in Trap 2. Now they raced off of scratch and a 2 metre start respectively, and Fuel Fian gets an extra metre tonight off of Latest Gossip. Latest Gossip was very unlucky, but I thought Fuel Fian was even more so unlucky and finding trouble at that first bend, and they both stayed on really well, as you'd expect the back markers to do, but that extra metre and the fact that he got early speed moving off Fentside Zara in Trap 3 as well. I think that 2 will go very close here at a big price, 5-1 Fuel Fian, and yeah, then a long day of punting, I'm sure, for many out there, kicking off with the football at midday, the Grand National, full fixture of horse racing and tremendous action, of course, tonight from Shawfield and Crayford. But tomorrow is another day, of course. Do join us tomorrow night. We've got Mick Livesey from Toaster, one of our tracks on tomorrow night, along with Paul. Sunday evening action. Get your questions ready for Mick. I'm sure he'll have plenty out there, all things Toaster, Derby and whatnot.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing Mick on, I was going to say the sofa tomorrow, but it's not comfy chairs these days, Mick, so I'm sure it'll be good value and building up quite nicely. A perfect time, I think, sort of in the aftermath of the Scottish Derby. We then now look forward to the English Derby with the not so small matter of the Trainers' Championship meeting at Toaster next Saturday night, and that promises to be one of the, if not, actually, no, probably the best meeting of the year so far.
Yeah, it certainly will be a big night next Saturday. A who's who of ground racing. 6 of the best do battle at Toaster next week. Right, 10:44 at Shawfield here. Our last race of the evening. Good luck if you are indeed playing here. And final flutter, playing up winnings, hopefully. Start us happy. Do thank everyone at Shawfield for their efforts this year. 3 fantastic nights of racing, heat, semi-finals and final. Well done to those guys. Final race, and they're off and racing, and 6 and 5 of course are off the front. 6 tight to the fence. There's Faraheen Rapper who's looking to go on now. 2 very quickly on the premises up the fence, and Fuel Fian is going on now, setting off after this leader, turning in second, couple of lengths down the blue jacket, and Latest Gossip giving chase as well, a length back, but 2 making a move now up and round the outside. 2 looking to go on and turning for home, a good couple of lengths clear here. Fuel Fian, 1 giving chase as well, looking to close, but the line is going to come in time here for 2. 2 beats 1 and 5 back in third.
Well done, great selection, Dave. You've signed off with a winner in the concluding handicap performance of Fuel Fian. Awful pronunciation, I'm sure, but nevertheless, West of Scotland Greyhound Trust Stakes has gone to Trap 2. Excellent selection from your presenter on Rpgtv tonight, Dave Clarky Clark, who's done the business and weaved its way through in great style to catch the front runners and deny what would have been, I'm sure, an emotional 100th race for connections of Faraheen Rapper in Trap 6. But 2's done it well, and well found, young man.
Yeah, Scott Kennedy doing the business tonight has had a tremendous evening as well as Scott and his team, and we've had a tremendous night enjoying the action from both Crayford and Shawfield. And as I say, we do thank everyone for their efforts from Shawfield over the last 3 Saturday nights. I'm sure Sheffield will be back Super Saturday next week. 16 races from there, but we've enjoyed tremendous action from Shawfield this evening. The other reg for Pat Rosney doing the business in the £20,000 Scottish Derby final. Good stuff. Right, let's have a little look at the Naps table. It's first and second doing battle tonight, and we're still there, Hobbsy.
Pulled clear of the rest now. Still got 10 quid to find with you, which is not going to be easy, but we'll give it a go. But fair play to Errol, Tony, Darryl and Julie. They are healthily in profit. This is probably the best showing we've ever had, isn't it, boss?
The boss is in the building. Right, I mentioned tomorrow we've got Mick Livesey on.
We all need testing.
Paul and Toaster. The action, and there's your flying four. Rachel, Richard, and I mentioned Mick Livesey there, but graded action from Paul and Toaster. Right now, let's have a little look at the trap challenge, which of course was won by Trap 1, but let's look at the final result of Shawfield. 6-1. Trap 2 beating 1 and 5. And the trap challenge, there you go, it's tight in the end between 3 and 5, but the red jacket doing the business, tipped by Jonathan Hobbs at the top of the show. He's been in fine form this evening, Hobbsy. Marvellous stuff on this Saturday evening. Quick line on the other edge, very impressive in our big race.
Yeah, fantastic. A second Scottish Derby success for Pat Rosney. Congratulations to Pat and to Julie. Great greyhound couple. And he looks he's a great dog, isn't he? Laurel's and out of the Derby, and all roads lead to Toaster. Looking forward to that for the other edge.
Excellent stuff. Thank you for your company tonight.
Pleasure. Likewise, Onward.
Plenty of winners. First time in the studio together.
Notice your blue and white socks. Rascals are words that you use.
There we go.
Look at those.
Let's leave it there, eh? Right, racing's been excellent. Thank you for your company. Do tune in tomorrow night, 7 nights a week, Rpgtv. But we've got Mick Livesey from Toaster tomorrow night, so do enjoy that. Thank you for watching. Good night.
Bet365.com, Betfair, Betfred, Coral, Ladbrokes, Paddy Power, Unibet and William Hill bring you Racing Post Greyhound TV.